The following is a presentation of Saginaw Spirit Hockey. The Spirit are set to take the ice. But first, get all the game day information you need. It's time for Countdown to Face-Off on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, WSGW.
Has benefited more from cold cooking in month of December than the Sault Greyhounds. Perfect 5-0 on their homestand to start the month of December, but on the road now they look to keep the good feelings going against the Spirit team, ready for 2 points on home ice. Hi everybody, my name's Dylan Clark. Thanks so much for being with us here on this Wednesday afternoon. We welcome you inside the Dow Event Center, up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. We'll be joined by Jack Snevice later on in the broadcast, but for these two teams, they haven't done battle with one another since all the way back in October. Fierce West Division rivals, just one game aside in a two-game season series. A victory for the Spirit on opening night back on September the 19th at GFL Memorial Gardens. The Greyhounds would return the favor about a month later, but they're back in action against one another here tonight. An important 2 points on the line in the OHL's last week going into the holiday break. We'll take a look at the numbers between these two hockey clubs. The NHL drafted players, those are going to jump right off the list at you. Lucas Fischer, just acquired in a trade with the Sarnia Sting. He's already left his mark on the Sault Greyhounds back end, a couple of assists in his first couple of games with the organization. Brady Martin at Team Canada's World Junior Camp, and the NHL name, or not quite an NHL name just yet, but Chase Reed with Team USA for their World Junior Camp. So a couple of big names out of the lineup for the Sault Greyhounds. Saginaw on the other side of the coin. The Greyhounds have just won their last 5 hockey games. The Spirit are winless in their last 5. Looking to turn the page right now. But one of the players standing in the way of that on the Sioux side of things, Christopher Brown, just named the OHL's Player of the Week after a 7-point performance. 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 helpers last week. Scored the overtime winner against the Kitchener Rangers on Wednesday. And not just the week, 10 points in 5 games to start the month of December for the Sault Greyhounds, former first-round pick in 2022. Leads the team with 22 assists on the season. And on the Saginaw side of things, the impressive rookie blue liner Levi Harper continues to produce for the Spirit. He started right from the very beginning. A goal in his first OHL game on September the 19th against the Sault Greyhounds. He was the only person in the building who was absolutely sure that it was in the back of the net. It was his first of many on the year so far. 3rd amongst OHL rookies with 27 points on the year. 6th among OHL blue liners. And he's got points in each of his last 3 hockey games. Levi Harper, 27 points in 31 games this season. The Spirit, Harper's going to try to help him get back in the win column. We sat down with Spirit head coach Chris Lasry talking about the weekend that was against London and Kitchener and how Saginaw tries to keep things light and competitive in practice and how they pick up 2 points against the West Division rival here tonight. It's Coach's Corner with Chris Lasry coming up after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
So, we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner on this Wednesday night. The Spirit taking on the Sault Greyhounds, joined once again by Spirit head coach Chris Lasby. And Coach, will go with the addition back into your lineup. You get Hayden Bartsch back in tonight after suspension. Just what was missing? How much was missing without Bartsch in the lineup?
I mean, it's no secret how he plays, right? He's extremely competitive, hard-nosed, leadership. Likes to pull guys into the fight like he's in every scrum after the whistle. We definitely missed those elements. It was good to see. It was nice to play with six in the sense that it's just easy to roll out pairs, extra minutes for guys, but it's good to get kind of that team toughness type player back in our lineup. But he's been a good puck mover, and I know he's amped up based on his practice yesterday and the battles we had. I think if he carries that jam into today, it'll be fun to watch.
Do you find that guys like that play with a little bit more physicality when they come back off a suspension like that, or are they a little bit more hesitant?
Yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of a caged animal type mentality for him. Like, I know he's just excited to play. Obviously, probably doesn't love the hit that he threw in Brampton. Teaching moment for him. I laughed because told me his dad was there, his nana's there, and he gets 19 seconds of a game. But learning moment for him. But I want him coming down the wall in those type of situations. We just want the execution to be a little bit smarter.
Jensen Geldart scores his first OHL goal last time you guys were in this building. How good was it to see him find the back of that in any fashion, but a little bit of a goal scorer's goal as well on the shot?
Yeah, it shows the confidence. Like, we drafted him for a reason. We had him rated as a first-round player that we got kind of early in the draft, that skates well, makes tons of plays. The thing that stands out, the confidence to make that type of play. Like, you got to have confidence to come down, weight shift a guy, walk in like that and score. And it's funny because he has a carbon copy clip in that game where he doesn't cut to the middle. He kind of skates it down the wall. So he's learning, but like when you look at our future with some of the players we have playing junior B or up and coming, he's one of the main pieces that we'll build around here in the future.
Nick Sema, a couple points in the last couple of games over the weekend, and he was kind of the motor to get things going when the game was down 2-0. Just how good is it to have that kind of reliability out of a player like that, and where do you see his game right now as he gets pretty well halfway through into the overage season?
Yeah, I think I like we went down 2-0. He was standing up, trying to get the guys going. Then we scored. He went up and down the bench, banging the stick. We have a bunch of guys like that on our bench that still believe and leaders and trying to lead our group through. Obviously a start that we didn't like, but I mean, even look at our practice yesterday. We had a card game in the lounge, and they were playing red-white. Winner gets a point to start the day. He's in the final, of course. He's in it. He's mucking and grinding, and then loses the point later for doing something dumb. And then we go out and we have our battle day, and just the energy that guys like them bring, especially when you have 9 wins. Like, you're looking for guys that aren't inside their feelings, guys that are more trying to pull guys into the fight, keep progressing our group forward when some days it can be tougher than others. And he's been a huge piece to that.
You get to see one of your former players, Igor Chernishaw, make his NHL debut last night. How much of that did you get to see, and how good was it to see 92 now at the NHL level?
Yeah, he stole Nick's number, right? We joke about that today. But I watched the entire game, his first shift. I texted him, said 1 shift +1, went to the net front. Wish you would have went to the net front a little bit more when you played for us. But hell of a game, got a point, just ended up getting a point here late. They changed the scoring on one of the goals, I think. So, yeah, really good game. Played about 13 minutes. Again, the best part of this job is watching guys go on and play at other levels, and getting to watch them live their dreams is the coolest thing.
And lastly, a matchup against a Sault team that you haven't seen in well over a month here. Got the split up in Sault Ste. Marie earlier in the fall. What do you remember about those 2 games, and what do you expect to carry over tonight?
Yeah, I think they're a different team now with the guys they have added and guys back. I know they're missing Reeder and they're missing Marty at the World J camps, but they've done a good job building a roster. It's a team that obviously, like, the hatred there over the years of the playoffs. It's a fun rivalry. It's one of my favorite teams to play in the league, just because the games are going to be super competitive, and Kluch playing against his brother's old team, like, all those elements in play here. We're excited to play him and expect him to build off the games we've had here lately.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. That's Chris Lasby, Saginaw taking on Greyhounds. Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
We're Duralast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Duralast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Duralast, the world's best roof.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers, blue side, scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Jilkin. He'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Jilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Indigo Connolly with the national anthems on this Wednesday night ahead of Saginaw and the Sioux Greyhounds. First meeting in this building on the season. We'll take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's contest. Brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University, your community-engaged university in the Great Lakes Bay region. Greyhounds go with the third line. Noah Laus, 10th in OHL rookie, scoring on the left side. Quinn McKenzie, a free agent signing at center. Jeremy Martin, the former Flint Firebird, at right wing. Jakob Winkelhofer and Lucas Fischer on the back end. Landon Miller between the pipes. We'll get into the goalies here in a minute. Let's look at the Saginaw side of things. The top line, still no Dimas Yilkin for one final night. So it's Sebastian Gervais with Barabanov and Klepov, Josh Glavin and James Go on the back end. Your starting lineups brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University. A quick look at your starting goaltenders brought to you by NetSource One. Landon Miller, fourth rounder to the Detroit Red Wings, had a 38-save shutout last time he was in this building. It was last December. 14 wins on the season, 2 shutouts to his credit this year. Across the way, Stepan Shurigan for the 28th time will occupy the Spirit goal crease. 8 wins. Looking for another. Opening faceoff brought to you by Delta College. Dylan Clark alongside Jack Snevice. Always good to see these two West Division rivals go toe-to-toe. And we're underway. Saginaw looking for their first in the last 5 games. The Greyhounds look to protect a 5-game winning streak. Fisher back around. Martin takes the check from Josh Glavin. Sebastian Gervais waves this in. And behind the net of Landon Miller, the Greyhounds push things up the far side boards. McKenzie stepped into by James Go. Barabanov and Klepov see that puck out. Back to Josh Glavin. The Spirit go with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen as Hayden Barch is back into the lineup tonight. James Go back in the Spirit end. Looking for Glavin. A little mishandle there. It's Barabanov back in. Just recently tied Nikita Klepov for the team lead in scoring with 38 points. Marco Mignosa. Cross-ice passes off the skate of Carson Harmer. 45 seconds gone and a line change here for the Spirit. Fisher back into his own end is donned the number 6 here in Sault Ste. Marie. This one picked up now by Callum Croskery. And into the offensive zone he goes. Croskery back in behind the net of Shurigan. Xander Valeris puts him into the boards. Puck up the near sidewall. Brody Papoy there for Jacob Kluche. Crosses center red. Kluche chases pucks back in. Ties up with Fitzgerald. Back in behind the Greyhound net again. A little more than a minute gone here in this first period. The feeling out process back and forth through center ice as Mignosa flips things in.
Oh, you mentioned it, partner. Always these Wednesday night inter-division rivalries. Takes a little bit sometimes. Despite playing each other as much as you do, there's always a feeling out process. I know the Sioux shorthanded a couple of players at World Juniors as well. Different lineup looks for them in the Spirit, as you mentioned, back on home ice trying to snap a 5-game skid with all the young talent they have in the lineup.
Greyhounds offside and maybe a fortunate break for the Spirit there. OHL's player of the week, Christopher Brown, hitting the line with speed, and tough to see exactly who it was on the Saginaw bench. They got their skate tied up on the wall. Could have been, the odd man break back into the Saginaw end, but the potential for too many men on the ice penalties. I believe it was Liam Storch got tied up on the ledge there. So a little bit of a close call. Face off just outside the Saginaw line. Jones to Levi Harper. Up to Nick Sema. Goal and an assist in his last contest. The Spirit falling in a shootout to the Kitchener Rangers. This puck picked up by Keegan Gillen back in behind the Greyhound goal. Spencer Evans gets the Sioux out of danger. This is Tobias Valensky. Can't get through Levi Harper, though, at center red, and so it's Gillen again. No Brady Martin, no Chase Reed here for the Sioux, 2 of their most electrifying players, but Sharon tries to dart back around. There is no shortage of great stories on this Sioux roster here this season. Storch back on now for the Spirit. Tries to cut up through center ice. 3 white sweaters quickly to him. This is Kaczynski on this puck. Back into the skates of Storch, who spins it around one more time. Here's a chance up through center. It's Brady Smith, the shot. The first shot of the hockey game is shrugged aside by Shurigan. Just about to remark that we're getting close to 3 minutes without a shot. Here's Aerosmith again. Maybe the floodgates open. Another save by Stepan Shurigan. Graydon Jones can't get the Spirit completely out of danger. Storch has his pocket picked by McKenzie. Greyhounds are on this puck back at center. Harris Pangretich throws it up to McKenzie down the right side. One of several players in this hockey game with connections to Shattuck St. Mary's program. Jensen Geldart back up through center ice for the Spirit. Scored his first OHL goal last weekend. Tries to spin that one to the net wall, falling. Back to his blades. Nikita Klepov on the puck. Below the Sioux goal line. Callum Croskery locks up there with Sebastian Gervais. The loose puck comes out now for Aerosmith. And the Greyhounds are away to center. This is Noah Laus, closed off by the overage defenseman James Go. Josh Glavin, OHL game 151 for him. His defensive partner Go gets to the neutral zone. Flipped it back in. This is Lucas Fisher again. Fourth game of Sioux Greyhounds action. He was ejected from his first contest in the red and white. As this is in on Stepan Shurigan for a whistle, a face-off, and a little bit of a snow shower, courtesy of Quinn McKenzie, 16-18 to go in the first.
And right now you're looking for the home side to match the energy that the visitors have brought. We talked about the names that are out of the lineup here tonight. No Travis Hayes, no Chase Reed, no Brady Martin, number 5 pick in the NHL draft, but it doesn't matter. The Greyhounds, one of the deepest teams in the entire Ontario Hockey League. On display, they're still rolling 3 lines. They're getting opportunities now on Shurigan. It's up to the home side now to answer any way they can. They go top line here in the defensive zone.
Good D-zone win by the Spirit. Sebastian Gervais on it, but a turnover, and this one sent back down low to the goal line. Fitzgerald locks up with Barabanov. Carson Andrew there to help out. And there is Josh Glavin on that puck for the Spirit. We're in the round of the far boards. Another kickback. Minyosa, the only overage player on the Greyhound roster as of today, as Fisher moves this to Winkelhofer. Down the wing and into the corner. This puck turned off the boards. Andrew there. Minyosa again. Just inside the blue line. High in the zone, Andrew. Can't turn that to the forehand. It snuck up on Gervais. So he's not the first man to it. It's Jakob Winkelhofer again, then back in. Fitzgerald and Minyosa go to work. Barabanov content to just get this puck out to center. Line change for the Spirit. Fresh bodies on for the Sioux as well. They hit Brown in with speed. Cuts to the middle. Poke check there at the last second by Jacob Kluche. Now Popoy leading the Spirit counterattack. Tries to bowl his way on through. Popoy right to the net. A good pass in front. Just barely avoiding the stick of Carson Harmer. Good defensive stick for the red and white there. Lucas Fisher off the boards and out. Sharon, good chip into space. Brown has a step to the net. Defensive work there. Xander Valeris knocks him off that biscuit. Back out at center, returning puck again. No more feeling out process. These two teams are ready to roll. Here comes Sharon, rolling back into the offensive zone. Another drop pass. Gillen fumbled there. Jacob Kluche gets taken down. The arm of the official is up. And the first IBEW Local 557 power play upcoming here for the Spirit.
Now for Gillen, who just got called back up from the GOJHL. 18 games on the season. We talked about the Greyhounds' depth. Having a player like that who's already played 18 games in the OHL called up to fill the blue line. Might seem like a bad trip. Not necessarily a bad idea. Certainly wasn't intentional as he was swiping for the puck, but you might have had numbers going the other way for the Saginaw Spirit. So first power play chance of the game. Spirit still looking for their first shot of the game as well.
Saginaw middle of the pack on the IBEW Local 557 power play. 11th in the OHL as of tonight. Their first chance in this hockey game. They'll have to start it from back in their own end as the Greyhounds clear to start the PK. Barabanov for Kluche. Quick kick out wide. Saginaw onside. The return pass. Klepov looking for Barabanov. Greyhounds will clear again. Jacob Kluche has filled in now on the top power play unit for the Spirit in the 3-game absence of Dimas Yilkin. Levi Harper into the offensive zone. Not with control, but a shot there. Goes up over the shoulder of Miller. And out to center. Barabanov knocks his way into the offensive zone. Rink wide pass, Klepov. Back to Levi Harper. Nikita Klepov again. Harper. Barabanov in front. Kluche, the low man, has all kinds of time on the goal line. Put it back in front. The loose puck is chopped away. Good active stick again. Evans took care of business for the Sioux. Stepan Shurigan trying to spring the Spirit back in. Barabanov stops up in the circle. Looking low. Finding Klepov. A pass received on the backhand. And a nice move to create some space for himself. Off the skate of Pangrenich, but Klepov keeps it alive. Still pressure here. Gervais in the right circle. Moving Klepov there, and Barabanov got tied up. The Greyhounds out to center ice. This is Sharon shorthanded. Taken out of the equation by Harper. Shurigan drops it there for Barabanov. 33 left on the power play. As the second unit goes to work here for Chris Lazary.
Yeah, you're looking for more opportunities there in the offensive end for the Saginaw Spirit. A little bit of miscommunication. Puck was kind of found a few players who were wide open with no one around. They looked like they were unsure what to do with it. Still looking for their first shot on net as well.
Good poke there by Fisher. Shorthanded chance for the Sioux defenseman. Laid back in front and cut off by Saginaw's Nick Sema. Speed heading back the other direction. Final seconds of the power play. Sema carves in. Right circle. Takes a shot. Pad save by Miller. His first of the hockey game. Braden Jones from the left point. Ducks down the board. Sealed off by Minyosa. Gillen is out of the box. Greyhounds have killed that one off. They've cleared the puck down. No icing. James go up for Carson Harmer. Brody Papoy steps in. Nice move. Onside seam of the one-time shot. That one blocked by Lucas Fisher. Brody Papoy goes in awkwardly. Little toe pick there down below the goal line, but he pops right back up. Angled to the middle by Colin Fitzgerald. And James go back up to pick things in the Spirit end. Just about 8 minutes gone here in the first period. Just the one shot for the Spirit so far. Josh Glavin, a little room and a long shot fought aside there by Landon Miller. A little handcuff with that left shoulder save. And this is Fitzgerald back the other direction here for the Sioux. They are offside. Callum Croskery touches it up. 11:56 to go, first period. The only names, Landon Miller and Stepan Shurigan, have been really impactful in this game so far. No score. We're back to Saginaw in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carleton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Back inside the Dow Event Center. No score here in the first period. Just one penalty. And our officials tonight brought to you by WNEM TV5. Nicholas Bent, Curtis Pear, as the linesmen Riley Brass and Devin Gale make some repairs to the neutral zone. That's where we'll have this face-off here in a scoreless first period. Brady Smith against Jensen Geldart. Uri Rauja and Liam Storch will flank him here. Rauja going toe-to-toe with his former HKM Zvolen teammate over in Slovakia, Tobias Volensky. They got a pregame picture during the warm-ups. Their first meeting here in North America. Teammates at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup as well for Slovakia. Puck back in the Spirit end as Blake Barnes ties up there with Ryan Kaczynski. No calls. The puck kicks back around to the right wing corner. Aerosmith taken a task by Josh Glavin. Rauja out to center. Played by a high stick. I could have sprung Liam Storch.
It was a great play there by Smith. That prevented a wide open breakaway for Storch, as you mentioned, partner.
Kaczynski on the intercept here in the neutral zone. One of just a couple of players eligible for the 2027 NHL draft in this Greyhounds lineup. It's a young squad, or it's an older squad for sure. As Storch is in on the side, but not a lot in the way of support. So Croskery back in behind the Greyhound net. Turned around by Xander Valeris. Croskery down. Just 8 games into his OHL tenure here with the Sioux. Up high, Bart's a point shot into a sea of bodies. Chased down by Barabanov in the corner. Barabanov up high into the slot. Takes a shot, he scores! Barabanov finds the lane through traffic. Spirit on the board, it's 1-0.
Something clicked for the Saginaw Spirit on that power play. They have come with 3 unanswered shots and a whole lot more. Barabanov, showing you exactly why he has found the back of the net so many times this season. 14 to be exact. A heads-up play. Curl, wait for the traffic in front. Great screen there by Gervais. Smith did his netminder. No help at all. You roll one way, you shoot the other. A beautiful goal by Barabanov and a 1-0 lead for the Spirit.
Barabanov's 14th of the season. Your Beerline Trombley Electric Light the Lamp goal. 39 points. Sole possession of the team lead on the season, but we'll see what kind of answers Nikita Klepov will have for that. Also got to wait to see exactly what the assists are on that, so we may have to reel that one back in. Gervais from back in behind the net. Klepov up the boards. Barabanov watches McKenzie. Gets a stick on it as well. And this is Jakob Winkelhofer to fire it back into the Spirit end. McKenzie's on his horse. No icing. There's Josh Glavin on the backhand around for Igor Barabanov. And on the forecheck, Minyosa makes life difficult. Kicks the puck out now. This is Andrew down to the goal line, back behind the Saginaw net. Andrew on the far side, left circle, has all kinds of daylight. That one stung Barabanov. He's back up. Into the circle again. Fitzgerald up high. Evans. Point drive into the glove of Shurigan. Had to locate that one around Andrew and Barabanov and all kinds of traffic. He did. Hangs on with a face-off here. 9:49 to go in this period.
The difference from Shurigan there in almost identical situations as the Barabanov goal. You see the shot from the point come in. Watch where his head is behind this screen. He's ducking below everyone to find that puck. Great job by Shurigan. Came into the night leading the OHL in saves. A big reason is heads-up plays like that. Top of his crease the whole way. Caught that one with the left hand and keeps it a 1-0 Spirit lead.
772 saves now as of this moment on the season to lead the OHL. Stepan Shurigan. Well over 1,500 minutes as well. That's the high water mark in the league by quite the margin, too. As Carson Harmer spins this back in behind the net of Landon Miller. Picked up by Jacob Kluche. Handcuffed by Fitzgerald. B-ranked prospect coming up by NHL Central Scouting for the 2026 NHL Draft. 6'3", 211. Able to use the size to his advantage. A cross-ice pass picked up off the boards, though, by Kluche. There's Carson Harmer. And there at the point, Levi Harper. Little fumble on that pass over to Carson Harmer. Mignosa settles for the clear out the center. Line change coming for those in white sweaters. This is Jones into the left circle, and that one stick aside by Miller, just above the blocker hand. Greyhounds look to counterattack. Sharon springs him in. Zvolenski splitting the D, heads to the net, shoots it a save. They rebound two. Two big saves by Stepan Shurigan, and the puck in behind the net under some bodies finally worked free. Christopher Brown to the point, near side. Evans all alone. We got a scrap and a save as Shurigan kicks that puck out with the right pad. Jordan Sharon takes down one of the Spirit players. Levi Harper underneath him somewhere. All kinds of action here. 8:34 to go in the first and a 1-0 Spirit lead.
Well, that was brewing behind the play after the first initial breakaway chance. Those two collided on the backside of things. A lot to break down here. Here's the initial breakaway. Zwolinski denied once. Follow-up chance by Brown, and there you see the hit from behind there by Sharon that led to Levi Harper engaging with him. And then they let the boys go behind the play. And maybe a break for Saginaw there with the puck in the offensive end to get the whistle when they did. That was another high-danger chance from the top of the circle. But again, Shurigan ready for that one. The referees break it all down here at the scores table.
Probably a couple offsetting minors and the potential for 4-on-4 here. Two big-time saves by Stepan Shurigan again. And Sharon, we just talked about Colin Fitzgerald clocking in at 6'3". Sharon, 6'2". He's got some weight he can throw around as well. So Levi Harper on the receiving end of that. He's already been introduced to the rivalry between Saginaw and the Sioux. As we mentioned off the pregame show, scored his first OHL goal in the first game of the season up at GFL Memorial Gardens. 5 aside here. In the defensive zone to the right is Stepan Shurigan. Just Sharon and Harper in the box. Greyhounds have this off the offensive zone face-off. Shot wide, lively rebound. Jensen Geldart cut off there by Zwolenski. Back down it goes. Brady Smith closed off by Bartz. Zwolenski chases it down back behind the Spirit net. Up the near side, just inside the line. A Gillen shot. Little friendly fire there as that hit Smith on its way through, and the Spirit do clear. Gillen back to pick it up. No icing here. Double clutch as he felt the pressure of Liam Storch. Seema's offside. Gillen decides to close off the check a little bit there. Face off to come in the neutral zone. 8:03 left here in this first period.
It's one of those matchups where you can just tell early on how familiar everyone is with one another, and if there's any bad blood left over from previous games, whether this season, the season before, you can tell it's stewing down there right now. And for the home side, you got to try and keep your composure if you're the Spirit. You know how deep this Greyhound lineup can go. You can't afford to miss players due to offsetting minors, fights, you name it. It's keeping your head in these situations. I'm sure exactly what Coach Lazary and company are telling them down there on the bench.
McKenzie leads the counterattack here for the Sioux. Jeremy Martin fires it back around. James Go gets closed off. Leaping into the air, Barabanov knocks the puck down. He'll skate after it, though. Pick it up himself. A drop at the line. Gervais, long shot. Stick save there by Miller. Another rebound off the wall and inadvertently trips up one of his teammates. Noah Laus gets the Sioux out of danger. Klepov loves the puck down, swats it back behind Miller again. Jakob Winkelhofer can't get it out of the zone, courtesy of Klepov. Into the circle he goes, finally settles that bouncing puck down. James Go at the line, lost the puck but kept it onside. McKenzie hauls down Klepov. Puck move, James Go, there goes the goaltender. Extra attacker is on, and a save made as that puck is scooped up by Landon Miller. But another power play upcoming here for the Saginaw Spirit. .7:01 here in the first period. McKenzie, the holding call. Saginaw's second IBEW Local 557 power play tonight.
Well, when you're as good as Nikita Klepov has been all year, there's nothing else to do but tackle him when he gets a little ice between him and his defender, and that's exactly what Kun McKenzie had to do to slow him down. It's a second power play chance, and the first power play was the one that kind of sprung this surge from the Saginaw Spirit, including the goal from Barabanov. So we'll see with the top unit out there if they can double up their lead here late in the first period.
Point in each of the last 5 games for Nikita Klepov. James Go just inside the line. He's not officially been given an assist yet. We'll to see if he can work out a power play goal in the meantime. Barabanov swept in front. Gervais just got drilled into the frame, and somehow that deflection stays out of the goal. Barabanov doesn't have a lot of time. Bouncing puck into the corner here for Klepov. To the middle, Gervais fights off what is probably a considerable amount of pain right now. Might be a little red paint on his cheek from that crossbar as Klepov turned down now. Jacob Pluche looking to feed Klepov. Nicely blocked on its way through. Pangretich slips this back around. Brown locks up there with James Go. Back on the top power play for the Spirit with Levi Harper in the penalty box. Barabanov over for Klepov in the circle. Swept in front, just off a stick and wide. Might have been that of Landon Miller. To the corner. Pluche again, halfway through the power play. James Go, Pluche back skating. Skates of Gervais, and the pass back up for James Go where he was just a couple of moments before the pass came off his stick. Gervais again, taken into the boards. Carson Andrew holds off Barabanov. Lucas Fisher gets there first for the Sioux. Calm, cool, and collected for the second-round pick of the St. Louis Blues, the puck out of the zone.
Yeah, it just feels like Saginaw again in this power play, forcing things a little too much, trying to get it to that bumper position. Gervais has been there, the mainstay in the middle, not working the outside, not working the point as much as they probably would like to get some better looks and better shots on net.
Final seconds here. A collision in the corner, not once but twice. Puck is kept in, backhanded low by Xander Valeris. Not once but twice again. As back underneath it goes. Brody Papoy. His stick tangled up. Nixima comes over. Fisher takes care of the puck, and this is Valeris again. 4 seconds here in a one-time chance by Sema. Sent wide. Papoy wraparound opportunity. Nearly beat everybody. McKenzie out of the box. A Papoy steal and a good save made by Miller. Back out at center. The puck too far ahead of Smith. Valeris and Jones tangle him up, and a delayed penalty coming against Saginaw. 4:49 here in the first. An interference call to Xander Valeris sends the Sioux Greyhounds to their first power play of the game. And we're back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Hi, this is Sebastian Gervais, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center, 1-0. The Spirit have the lead, but to their first Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill, Xander Valeris for an interference call. And so recently, the best power play in the Ontario Hockey League, the Sioux Greyhounds can go to work. Defensive zone faceoff won by the Spirit. Colin Fitzgerald works to get it back. The Sioux 9 power play goals in their last 17 opportunities in what has become a 5-game win streak to start December. Vignosa in the neutral zone. Fumbled by Martin. Taken care of by Saginaw's Nick Sema. Handled by the Sioux goaltender Landon Miller. At one point, the Sioux power play, 20th out of 20. Sitting at 16th right now, but it has been a lot of power play goals. And here's another opportunity. Fitzgerald, that one fought off at the last second as James Go latched on for a ride, too. The Spirit bring this puck back around.
And that was a great play by Go. It disrupted Fitzgerald just enough to allow his netminder to get that near side post, position himself well. Shurigan, I think, wore that right off the mask, but made the save nonetheless.
There's a very distinct click when it goes off the helmet. Good stick lift there. As Carson Harmer could have been in free for the Spirit, but this is Brown the other direction. Then for McKenzie in the corner. 50 to go on the power play. Valaire's in the box for interference. This is Jakob Winkelhofer. Back down. Brown opens the skates, moves up high. Lots of room for him. Pass to the near side. Loust the shot. Pat saves Shurigan, and the rebound shot back up to the top of the zone. Louse just inside the line. Uses the boards. Down low. Return pass. Louse again. Center point. Winkelhofer. Finding McKenzie. Pressure by Harmer. Back to Winkelhofer. Near side, Louse again. Steps in and shoots, and a Shurigan save. Does not have a rebound attached to it, so the whistle with 3:09 in the period.
That's always good when your netminder can hold on to the puck on the penalty kill. It allows a free change for your team. Good work by Saginaw on their own end, making it tougher on the Greyhounds. As you can see, a chance here, 2-on-1 opportunity right there. Go is just on him enough, being a pest right behind him with that stick. Just enough. Maybe got away with a little bit of a hook as well, but nonetheless, a great job by James Go trailing and a good save by Shurigan.
9 saves in the hockey game so far for Stepan Shurigan. As puck back down into the corner, there will be quite a few tests as this game goes along. McKenzie for Winkelhofer. Allows the one-time shot right off Sebastian Gervais. It's been a taxing first period for him. Brown in the bumper. He scores! Shurigan may have been screened. Christopher Brown, 12th of the season. This one's on the power play. The Greyhound man advantage strikes again to tie the game.
Traffic in front is a goalie's worst nightmare, and Christopher Brown, the reigning OHL player of the week, picking up where he left off. Great passing, and sure enough, it looked like just maybe Barch was in front and took away the eyes of Shurigan. Nonetheless, how about Christopher Brown this season? Just 8 points a year ago with a former first-round pick. Give him his 12th goal on the season. 34 points in a 1-1 hockey game. 2:48 to go here in the first period.
Greyhounds went 2 for 2 on the power play against Owen Sound on December the 14th. Scored on 3 straight power plays now as this puck back in behind the Greyhounds net. In an even hockey game, it's Vignosa off the boards to center. Greyhounds have a play developing. That's shut down by Josh Glavin.
Good thing it was. That might have been a 2-on-0 if that puck gets up ice.
Evans rims it up the boards. Vignosa back for Fitzgerald. Steps to the middle and into the offensive zone with a good amount of speed. He scores! Rifles that one over the glove hand of Stepan Shurigan just seconds after the power play goal. The Greyhounds are up 2-1.
Well, when you have as many first-round priority selection draft picks on your team as the Sioux Greyhounds do, it's hard to see, or it's easy to see how much success they've had this year and what a trade it was getting Colin Fitzgerald out of Peterborough. It looked like a player who needed a fresh change of scenery, and you see why NHL scouts love him. That wrist shot, that size, just quickly got on top of Shurigan, right over top of the glove hand side. Blink once, 31 seconds apart. It's a 2-1 Greyhounds lead.
Third goal in a Sioux uniform for Fitzgerald. And like Jack said, just 31 seconds after the power play goal, the Greyhounds are in the driver's seat here. Off the helmet of Levi Harper. Brody Papoy comes over for a shoulder. Carson Harmer's on this puck. Over to Blake Barnes. Push down low. Papoy goes to work again. Another centering feed that may have caught some by surprise. Brown back out to center here for the Sioux. Down the left wing. Gets in past Barnes and back in behind the Spirit goal line they go. Picked up by Levi Harper and behind the Saginaw net. Out of the box after his offsetting minor penalties. Up the near side, Papoy kicked out by Carson Harmer. The Greyhounds take over. Keegan Gillen there for Lucas Fisher and back. Gillen hits no allows at the line. The offensive zone. Final minute here of this first period. Puck lost out to center by Jeremy Martin. Cross ice it goes again. Lucas Fisher back for Laus. Deflection. McKenzie. Jensen Geldart can't sweep that puck free. It finds its way onto the stick of Barnes and then up for Nick Sema. Tries to chip it around him, man. Sema, good work. Bouncing puck to the net and a save made by Miller. Nick Sema not done yet. Cross ice pass. Reeled in by Bartz. Takes a shot. Saved by Miller. The rebound by Rauja. Turned out by the Sioux netminder as well. Chances in bunches here for the Spirit. Greyhound line change. Pass off the wall. Will go down for an icing. Nick Sema of the opinion that he touched it up. Faceoff's going to come all the way back in the Spirit end, though. 40.7 left in the first.
Sure looked like Sema got just enough on it. You thought you heard the little tick there of the puck hitting the stick, but nonetheless, you got to focus up here if you're Saginaw. You don't want this going from bad to worse here late in the first period. Already lost the lead just like that, and now a chance for a fresh Greyhound line in an offensive zone faceoff.
Callum Croskery on for this faceoff here for the Sioux Greyhounds. Just a couple of days removed from his first OHL goal after a preseason injury held him out. 8 games now for the Sioux defenseman in the Ontario Hockey League. We'll catch up with Callum Croskery coming up here in this first intermission. Nick Sema for Rauja. Looking for the far pad. Out the other side it comes instead. Nick Sema rolls right through Carson Andrew. Now this picked up again. Sema, a little retribution from Evans. 23 to go. Back in front into the skates of the defender, Croskery. Andrew spins it to the middle. This is Croskery again. Mignosa. Inside the offensive zone, away from Geldart. Flips a puck to the net. Glove down by Shurigan. No options that appealed to him too much. So a defensive zone faceoff with 7.4 here in the first period. But that was the largest hit of the hockey game. Nick Sema on Carson Andrew.
Sure was, and Nick Sema, ever since he got here to Saginaw, a part of that Memorial Cup team, has been just the Energizer Bunny. I've loved watching him play for years because he's capable of scoring you 20 goals, and he's capable of big hits just like that can set the tone for his team. That might have been a little bit of a message to his own bench saying, hey, guys, we just lost the lead that quick. Let's wake up and continue fighting here the final 40.
Off the glass from Glavin. Icing here. Not enough time left in the first period, though. And so a Sioux lead. They'll carry it back into the dressing room. 11 shots to 7 for the visitors. 2 goals to 1 for the visitors as well. And like we said, Callum Croskery into the fold here for the Sioux Greyhounds. We'll catch up with the Sioux defenseman coming up after this on our first intermission report here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today. The disability experts in your community.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Beerline Companies also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Now Event Center. First intermission here between the Sioux and the Saginaw Spirit. 2-1 for the visitors, and joining us, one of the newest visitors, Callum Croskery from the Sioux Greyhounds. Callum, appreciate you joining us. A back and forth first period. You guys come out of it with a 2-1 lead. What'd you like about the first 20?
Yeah, I didn't think it was our best start, but we did find a way to get 2 goals, and I think we just got to keep building on that.
You guys have a lot of big names. You've added more and more as the season has gone on. The postseason is big on the mind of this group for sure. How do you feel? Just how special is this group for you guys right now?
Yeah, it's a very special group. We're close on and off the ice. I think it translates. You can see our chemistry when we play, but yeah, I think we're really focused on the moment and just taking it game by game.
Well, and for yourself personally, 8 games into your OHL career here now, after it was pushed back due to an injury earlier in the season, just how tough was that to battle through for you, and how good does it finally feel to get back onto the ice here in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it was really tough, but adversity is part of life, and it does feel just amazing to get back on, and I think you kind of take it for granted when you're not playing.
And a couple of guys that are away at World Juniors right now. Just how closely do you guys, or are you going to follow Brady Martin and Chase Reed at World Juniors, and how has it been getting a handful of games with those guys as well before they left?
2 obviously incredibly skilled players, but yeah, we're definitely keeping close tabs on them. Wishing the best to Marty, and we're hoping Chase loses in the finals.
Well, Callum, appreciate the time, man. Good luck in the second period.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's Callum Croskery, 2-1 for one of the newest Greyhounds in the fold here right now. We'll take a break. Bring Jack back into the conversation. Go through some highlights here. Analysis after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
My Michigan Health is your go-to place for comprehensive brain, stroke, and spine care right here in your community. Our expert neuroscience team provides care close to home with multiple certified stroke centers throughout the region, including the only comprehensive stroke center in Saginaw. With 24/7 medical expertise, the latest diagnostic tools, and advanced treatments, we're ready when you need us most. Learn more at mymichigan.org/neuro.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Carroll, Croswell, and Sebring factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
It's time for your intermission report from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Here's Dylan Clark.
As they are very much in the need of a win here in the final week before the OHL's holiday break. And a player that's found the back of the net more than his fair share of times. Number 14 finds goal number 14 on the season. Igor Barabanov rolls over the top, gets through a lot of bodies. Hayden Barch and Sebastian Gervais pick up the assists on that goal. Barch in his first game back from a suspension Tobias Valensky, a breakaway opportunity, a couple of really nice saves from Stepan Shurigan. He was tested in that first period 11 times. And the goaltender at the other end had to be sharp as well. Landon Miller, a really good opportunity against Brody Popoy there, point-per-game player in his last 6 contests. But eventually, the Greyhounds do break through. The Fitzgerald shot stopped there by Stepan Shurigan, and the theatrics after the fact, they find themselves on the power play. Bumper chance to the middle, up and over the glove of Stepan Shurigan. Christopher Brown, the OHL's player of the week, one of the players of Wednesday night as well. Power play goal, his 12th of the season. Greyhounds on the board. 31 seconds later, Greyhounds double up the board. Fitzgerald over the glove hand of Stepan Shurigan. Maybe a little bit off the angle. He comes out to challenge. It goes up over the left hand and into the back of the net. Greyhounds up 2-1 into the first intermission, and a couple more opportunities that Landon Miller would shut down back at the other end. A little frustrated at the end, but some good chances for sure. 2-1. We take a look at the intermission stats brought to you by Raymond. The Greyhounds had the 11-7 shot advantage. 0 for 1 on the power play for the 0 for 2 on the Spirit side of things. Greyhounds do convert on the power play. That Brown goal was a power play marker. So 2-1 the scores. We bring it back up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark, Jack Stevice. Jack, that's the easy place to start. Another power play goal for the Sioux Greyhounds. Nothing's been better for them right now, up over 50% in their last 6 games.
Well, there's a reason you win 5 games in a row, right? You're only as good as your power play. And even tonight, I've been very, very impressed. You're missing the likes of Reed, Martin, and Hayes. I know we've talked about it at length at this point, but those are 3 big players. That combines for over 60 points in your squad. And the way the rest of the lineup has filled right into that top power play, they've had 4 or 5 shots and a goal. You can see how quickly it changed momentum. And just like that, the Greyhounds had the lead now to intermission.
You're getting your first look here, at least in person, at Brody Popoy. Free agent signing for the Spirit, point-per-game player of his last handful of hockey games. And the confidence has been a lot more apparent. He looks like he's, an NHL prospect in this league. He gets the W from NHL Central Scouting at the beginning of the season. Some guys don't live up to that pressure. Popoy has taken it and run with it. What have you seen from him here in the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, you have to think with Central Scouting, that's going to be a little bit of a higher grade when they come out with their midseason rankings. Right. You saw it right there on that opportunity Carson Andrew had clearing out after the Saginaw power play chance. Just a quick stick lift. It would have been a 2-on-0 going the other way, maybe a 3-on-1 potentially coming out of the box was McKenzie. It was Popoy smarts, playing only 30 games in the OHL, to have the wherewithal to do that in the defensive end. Led to a scoring opportunity for his team and prevented a scoring opportunity the other way. He's been involved in all the puck battles. It seems to just be finding him, and I'm sure as time, his confidence grows, his play is going to grow. He's going to grow with the game and become a really, really solid player for the Saginaw team.
Some really big-time hits in that first period. We had the battle between Sharon and Levi Harper. Nick Sema gets into Carson Andrew in front of the Greyhound bench. Sometimes we hype up the rivalry, and it doesn't quite live up to the hype. I think we were spot on so far in the first period.
And you heard Coach Lazary pregame, right? He loves this rivalry. It has been one that both these teams have had massive postseason success in the last, decade plus now between Sioux and Saginaw. And you see it every single time Sioux and Saginaw get together. There's going to be some fireworks both in the back of the net and, in the penalty box as well.
Nick Sema, Sebastian Gervais, Josh Glavin, and James Go, the only holdovers from that second-round series between Saginaw and Sault Ste. Marie back in 2024. So not a long time ago, but in junior hockey, the rosters changed pretty rapidly. So as far as the second period goes here, Greyhounds are up 2-1. Saginaw got some really good opportunities in that first period. They got to be feeling good, though, still within a goal here going into the second.
And you're looking for more, as I'm sure, Spirit fans have heard from Harmer and Kluche. You knew how good and how important they were to the team that made the first round of the playoffs last year, had a chance to go on a deep run before they met the Erie Otters, and you're looking for that leap from them still this season. They both were all rookie players, top 3 in scoring across the OHL for first-year players, and you're just looking for that jump. That second-year jump from them, and if they hit their marks, you get Jokin back, all of a sudden you have a top 6 here that could rival many of the teams in the OHL. So I know it's been a process all season long as we're already in the middle of December here, but for Harmer and Kluche, I'm looking for even more out of them, not only in the second period, but the rest of the season. Spirit.
Well, 2-1 game right now going into period number 2. The Greyhounds in the driver's seat, 11 shots to 7 in that first period, 2 goals to 1 as well. We'll see if anybody comes out with any more jump in the step to start the second period. We'll take a break. When we come back, a look around the out-of-town scoreboard. It's not quite as full as it would be if it were a Friday or a Saturday, but we do have some out-of-town scores to check in on. It's brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, and it's coming up after this.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
Hi, this is James Go, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
Your out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Only two other games in action tonight. Owen Sound, a 1-0 lead on the London Knights from the Bayshore. Nicholas Sikora, his 16th goal of the season from the former Erie Otter, Wesley Royston. Jake Crawford picks up another assist for the attack. They outshoot the London Knights 15-8 through 20 minutes of play. Kitchener and the former team of Lucas Fisher, 1-1 between the Rangers and the Sarnia Sting. Jack Van Volsen, his 10th of the season, from their newly minted captain Alessandro Diorio and Cameron O'Coin. Hayden Ellis, his 5th of the year from Weston Cameron. These two teams, Saginaw and the Rangers, of course, a tilt that caught the attention of many last weekend. A tie game right there. We'll take a look at our Western Conference standings as they currently sit going into tonight's game. There you see Saginaw on the outside of the playoff picture, 25 points, 9th place. They are 4-6-1-3 from home ice. They look to pick up their 5th win here in this building. The Spirit are in the midst of a slide that they haven't seen in quite some time. Last time they lost more than 4 games in a row was January of 2023. The Spirit had just traded Pavel Minchikov to the Ottawa 67s for picks so that they could land the Memorial Cup bid. They would go on to lose 8 straight that January. Saginaw looking to avoid a similar fate here in the month of December. And the Sioux Greyhounds up in 4th place right now. They'd be a little bit higher had it not been for the Kitchener Rangers in the Midwest Division. And sitting on top of the pile, the Flint Firebirds at 48 points through 33 games played. There will be more battles between the Spirit, the Greyhounds, and the Flint Firebirds, don't you worry, before this season is all said and done. Your out-of-town scoreboard. Now look at the Western Conference standings, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. We take a break, and we start the second period. The Greyhounds outshot the Spirit. Some good chances on both sides. We've seen some good saves from Landon Miller and Stepan Shurigan, the 2 goaltenders. We expect to see more here in the second period. It starts after this. You're on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
WSGW is keeping you connected with the Great Lakes Bay region and the world. Tune in to quality local shows. Mihinte on Air, United Shades of Gray, That's What She Said, Generating Gratitude, and Hey, Great Lakes Bay. Saturday mornings until 9 and Sunday afternoons at 4, or anytime on your favorite podcasting app. Great Lakes Bay Connections. Local voices, local stories, local people. This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Thanks to Christopher Brown and Colin Fitzgerald. Igor Barabanov, the lone goal for the Spirit. No carryover penalties or power plays. A close game in the first. We don't expect any different here in the second. Dylan Clark alongside Jack Snevice as Barabanov and McKenzie go for the second period draw. Lucas Fisher away from the forechecking of Nikita Klepov. The puck off the wall in front of Laus. In on Stepan Shurigan. He doesn't like the options in front of him because the first one would have been McKenzie, so he freezes the puck. McKenzie picked up the assist on the Christopher Brown power play goal alongside Jakob Winkelhofer. That got the Greyhounds on the board. Marco Mignosa and Spencer Evans end up picking up the assists on the Colin Fitzgerald goal just a couple of seconds later. Just inside the line, Fisher going to try to feed that one to Mignosa. Spirit get it out of danger at the line, swung at by Barabanov and Fisher. And a bouncing puck in the neutral zone again is settled down and corralled by Jakob Winkelhofer. Off the boards to center. Bartz throws the shoulder on Andrew. You heard his head coach talk about that, stepping up and throwing the body in coach's corner. Greyhounds wrist that one to the net, off a body into the glass. Touched up by Mignosa and whistled down as it was played by a high stick. 39 seconds gone in the second period.
And you always wonder in games like this that played at such a tight level in the first period, if and when things open up on the second, when you have the benches outside of the offensive end. It's the period of the long change, as they call it. The second period always seems to find more open ice than not. Look for those stretch passes, look for those breakaways, and for a team like the Greyhounds who've had a couple of chances, that is something the Saginaw Spirit definitely need to be focusing on here in this middle stanza.
We just got the word here, 19:21 to go in the period. That Brown goal, the penalty expired right as it went into the back of the net, so our apologies. We reported it as a power play goal. It is an even strength goal. That's going to skew the power play numbers for the Sioux, but still just above 50% in their last handful of games. Brody Popoy turns this underneath the Greyhound goal. Kluche off some skates. Back up, James Go. Inside the line, tipped and a save. It goes off the goalpost on the deflection from Popoy. Right where you'd expect 62 to be. On it again, trying to find Kluche in front. Pangrenich takes it out of danger. And the Sioux have things out at center. And Carson Harmer strides back in again. Lowers the shoulder, heads for the net. Harmer tries to stuff that one in front. Loose puck, go the shot, sliding back over Landon Miller. And a headlock for Jacob Kluche on one of the Greyhounds, I believe, Croskery. 18:39 to go in the second. Tempers flare a little bit more. A couple of saves there by Miller. Good work by Croskery to cut that stick or the puck off the stick of Carson Harmer. Luce goes right after Croskery, right in front of the goaltender. Miller a little bit out of his crease, but able to slide back in to make the stop.
Yeah, that's a great call there, Clark. What a job by Miller, top of his paint, to get back on the edge off the left skate and force himself back to the near side post. James Go was sitting there at the top of the circle with a lot of net, and all of a sudden it vanished in front of him. Miller held on. Extracurriculars ensued, but that was a great save by the Red Wings' fourth-round pick.
Stopped 18 of 22 on December the 14th against Owen Sound. He's won his last 4 starts. Noah Tegelard, the backup goaltender tonight, had the other. That completes the 5-game win streak for the team as a shovel play to the front of the net, shut down by Miller as well. Here's another backhand opportunity. Gervais can't turn that one home. Skated up the center by Lucas Fisher. Leads the charge, lost the puck, delayed offside. And so this is Klepov. Stretch pass. Barabanov stretched a little bit too much. Offside here, 18-15 left in the second period. Face off down to our left in Stepan Shurigan's neck of the woods. And a fellow countryman just made his NHL debut, Igor Chernyshov. Last night, 1 assist with the San Jose Sharks after he was credited with a secondary assist on a beauty from Macklin Celebrini. If you haven't seen the goal, we encourage you to take a look at it. 55 points in 23 games during a short but incredibly memorable tenure with the Saginaw Spirit for Igor Chernyshov. The shot by Sharon is fought off by Shurigan. Back out at center. This is Brown. Then for Fisher. Sharon again. Backhanded up. That one doesn't lay down for Brown. Lavin's got to turn around and put it up for Gervais. Saginaw not out of danger yet. Now Nikita Klepov. Back into the offensive zone. Rides the blue line. Turns up on the boards. And away from Zvolensky. Drop pass. Here's some room for Gervais and a shot off some sticks. Just casually settled down by Sharon. He's going to try to spring Brown. Reaching after him, Nikita Klepov. Brown back around. Sharon, 18 goals on the season. Turning this one here. An opportunity in front of the rising shot by Ryan Kaczynski goes high. And up out of play. 2.5 gone in the period. Stays a 2-1 game.
Yeah, a little bit of a tight start to the period. That stretch pass there, but to Brown looked awfully similar to his odd man chance he had earlier in that first period. But that's the kind of opportunities you look for here in the second period where you just know you can cheat just maybe a little bit more than you would in the first and the third, where you have an extra step behind the defense, give yourself an odd man look. Otherwise, the best chance of the day potentially thwarted away by the Spirit.
Jensen Geldart, the rookie, out to pick up another faceoff here. 2 for 4 so far in this game. And the Spirit have been looking for a right shot center in the early goings of the season. Does Geldart step up to fill that role here as the year goes along? Greyhounds have this in the offensive zone. Blocked shot by Geldart. Liam Storch reels things in out the center. Picked off though by Kaczynski. Geldart, with the help of Valeris, puts him into the boards, and Liam Storch puts the puck into the Spirit bench. A little friendly fire. I believe Nikita Klepov will wipe off the visor. 7:15 to go here in the second period. Klepov, along with Barabanov and Shurigan, will head to Peterborough on January 14th for the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game. On the Greyhound side of things, we spoke with Callum Croskery earlier in tonight's game. He'll head to the Peterborough Memorial Center along with Chase Reed and Colin Fitzgerald to represent the Sioux Greyhounds as top prospects for this year's NHL draft. Brody Popoy and Carson Andrew get a talking to. And some more work with the sticks for one another. The linesman brings over the referee. And more here before this face-off at center ice. Harmer tied up. Puck to the near boards. Chopped at by Levi Harper. Kluche can't get around Evans. This is picked up by the Sioux' Keegan Gillen. Fired around the wall. Good angle pass there by Fitzgerald. Can't be held up by Carson Andrew. So Harper back for Kluche. Flipped into the Greyhounds' end again where it's Gillen to retrieve. Off the boards for Evans. Kluche cuts him off there. Loose puck is picked up by Gillen, then Mignosa. Greyhounds stride out to center. They may have numbers developing here. And although they get tied up at the offensive blue line, and they're offside as Mignosa has a couple of more pops for Brody Popoy. Face off to come just outside the Greyhound bench. 16:47 They're at a 2-1 Greyhound lead in the second period.
You can tell these two teams are just so familiar with one another that nothing is going smoothly currently here in the second period. These are the games where you can get into the mud a little bit, you can get into the weeds a little bit and make a mistake. It's smart. It's important in a game like this to keep your head on a swivel.
Chance for McKenzie. Left pad saved by Stephon Shurigan. A late whistle. Bit of a pause, but it was under him somewhere. I don't think it was exactly where he thought it was, and that's another nice save. Another feather in the cap for Stephon Shurigan.
Yeah, you can tell with Shurigan how many saves he has on the year, not indicative of his goals against the save percentage. He is asked to do a lot here. Great toe save, and you're right. They thought it was under the pad. It might have been right underneath his glove there.
You'll see it under the blocker eventually when he stands up. There it is. 6'5". I don't know if you're going to find a more athletic goaltender in the Ontario Hockey League today. Maybe Carter George. Is that one, I believe, off the mask of Shurigan as well. This puck just inside the line. McKenzie. Been a real nice option as a quote-unquote third-line center here for the Sioux in this game. Martin back down low in front. The pass looking for Laus, doesn't connect. Cross-screen now in the right circle, right into the glove. Shurigan comes out, cuts down the angle, and Pangretich fires it right into the mid.
And just the confidence in his work, in his saves, right to the edge of the blue paint. Great angle, positioned well in front of the shooter, and just calm, cool, and collective with that glove. Made it look easy. It is not when you have a defenseman bearing down on you inside the circle.
And you know he's got nobody in the right circle. That's situational awareness right there. Goaltenders Shurigan and Caleb Papineau work extensively with Spirit goalie coach Kevin Delamarter about knowing the situation where everybody is on the ice at all times. He's not going to come out and cut down the angle that far if there's somebody in that other circle. He knows he's got the time, so he comes down to take away the space. Hayden Barnes back in behind the Spirit net. Almost 4 gone here in the second period. A disagreement along the wall, so the puck out of the other wall. Sharon poked away by Popoy. Kluche up with him. Harmer joins with numbers. Kluche into the offensive zone. The drop pass. Harmer over. Popoy off the toe of his stick. He couldn't corral it. Back to the corner. Jacob Kluche, a nice hit to open some space. Popoy back to him. Carson Harmer's shot while falling does not get to the Greyhound net. Barnes takes a check. Jacob Kluche, nice move. Popoy in the circle. That shot blocked as well. And moved back up to center ice by the Sioux, Tobias Walensky. Levi Harper's pass disrupted. Gervais chases it down. The backhanded pass in front doesn't make its way there. Igor Barabanov fresh onto the ice for Chris Lazary. Knocked out off the stick of Jones. Now a chance. Aerosmith with Kaczynski breaking. The pass in front does not connect. Fisher. Greyhounds trying to keep this puck alive. Barabanov hit a kink in the boards. Aerosmith knocked down. He stays after Graydon Jones here back in the Spirit end. Klepov tosses this puck back out to center and into an icing call. 14:45 to go here, second period. Really nice opportunity on what could have been a backdoor tap-in on the Sioux Greyhounds end.
Feeling eerily similar to the first period. It took a couple of minutes to establish some flow here, but here's a look at the odd man rush, and all of a sudden the floodgates have kind of opened. You're starting to see those stretch passes, blue to blue. Odd man rushes up and down the ice. This one just escaping the stick on the near side post.
I'm not sure if Levi Harper gets a touch on that or not. He was in the area. 14:45 to go in the second. And it stays a 2-1 game. Greyhounds out shooting Saginaw 4-2 here in this period as another conference here for the faceoff. We'll move it over into the left dot. Sebastian Gervais against Fitzgerald. Gervais, one of the top 5 face-off winners in the Ontario Hockey League. He's 3 for 6 tonight. Greyhounds win the draw back. Through the skates of Minyosa, Winkelhofer finds Lucas Fisher. Minyosa for Winkelhofer. Minyosa swept to the net, stick save Shurigan. Harper tied up. Spirit can't get the puck out. Glove down by Winkelhofer and then down low. Off the glass from Harper. Back into the Greyhounds' end. And another icing. 14-23 here in period 2, and we'll do the same thing all over again.
And you're looking for someone from Saginaw right now to spark an odd man opportunity or something the other way. It's been a lot of time in front of your netminders, come up with big save after big save. I'm sure the message down on the Spirit bench is challenging the players of someone step up, make a play, get a momentum shift, and more importantly, get this crowd into it here at the Dow Event Center.
Another face-off win for the Sioux, and another save by Stepan Shurigan, that time on Mignosa. Cross-ice pass up high again. Fisher fires it back down into the corner, picked up off the boards by Fitzgerald. Stepping to the middle, lots of room for him. Takes the shot, goes high and wide. Healthy rebound off the glass. Handled by Saginaw's Gervais. Now here's that chance. Barabanov for Klepov. Alone, taken away by Lucas Fisher. And he made it look easy. Jones into the boards. Back up at the line, can't be held in by Liam Storch. Mignosa tangles with Storch in front of the Sioux bench. Andrew fires it back in. Fitzgerald to pursue. Harper there to Graydon Jones. Saginaw looks north. Through the skates of Gillen, then for Evans. Calmly off the wall. Martin collides with Harper. McKenzie in over the offensive blue line for the Sioux. Tangled up with Jones, or go rather. A one-time shot there by Evans is kicked out. McKenzie and Harper back in behind the Spirit net again. John Dean throws out the McKenzie line in relatively short order after their last shift. Louse back to work. Here comes McKenzie again. Cross-ice pass. They roll it up high, too far out of the reach of Keegan Gillen. Off the stick of Nick Sema. No more stick for Nick Sema. He's got it back and picks up the pass from Levi Harper. Tries to feed Liam Storch on a spin-around opportunity. Put back in front. Nice slip there, and Geldart shut down by Miller. Good vision there by Liam Storch to get that puck back in front. Here comes Louse on the Sioux counterattack. Stops at the hash marks. Poked by Blake Barnes and back in behind the Saginaw net. There's Sema again. Off the wall. Croskery keeps it alive with one hand. Sent over. Sharon the shot. Saved by Shurigan. Leaning to his right to make the stop. There's no rebound. 12:33 here in the second period. It'll stay a 2-1 Greyhound lead. We'll take a break. Back to Saginaw. Good action after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at GarberChesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Back inside the Dow Event Center, 2-1. Greyhounds protecting a lead. Landon Miller protecting the Greyhound net. Nice centering feed from Liam Storch to Jensen Geldart prior to that most recent whistle.
And for all the talk about Shurigan tonight, Landon Miller's had a couple big-time opportunities when called upon. That one, an important one right there. He's fifth in the OHL and wins for a reason. He had a great 40-save performance in this building a year ago for the Greyhounds when he was still the number 2 netminder for John Dean's club. He has come through with a couple great opportunities, or faced a couple great opportunities here tonight. He has stood tall on as well. And the only blemish on his record so far was the Barabanov goal where he just never saw it.
Up the near side, Croskery tries to hold things in here for the Sioux. Brown skates back, finds Croskery. Changes the angle. Can't get that shot through Josh Glavin. They're trying to shake that bruise off, and Carson Harmer might have a chance on a rolling puck. Pangrenich tries to get back, loses the stick, and a great save by Miller. The puck is still loose. Brown has to rescue it. Popoy's on him. They force a turnover. This is Kluche. Poked at by Pangrenich, or Sharon rather. Brown can't get this back out past Kluche. Carson Harmer calmly back to James Go. This line has gotten the better opportunities here for the Spirit in this period. That one floated back to the Sioux net by Popoy, and Kluche says hi to the goaltender. That'll pay a price.
That's Popoy in the middle of it all. Yet again, we talked about these three specifically at intermission, and Popoy, Harmer, and Kluche and how they could be the Energizer Bunny. You know what you're going to get from Klepov and Barabanov up top. You know what you get from Dimashokin when he's in the lineup night in, night out. You need that second line to start coming through, and there was a great opportunity for Carson Harmer. But again, Landon Miller has stood tall when asked here tonight. Great recognition by Brown, trailing the play to see that loose puck, but jump to the official, not blowing the whistle. Chaos ensued then on the offensive zone as a great stretch pass save by Landon Miller kept us a 2-1 hockey game. Looks like we're going to have offsetting penalties and 4-on-4 hockey with 11:50 to go here in the second period and a 1-goal Greyhound lead.
Jacob Cloutier on the Saginaw side of things. Callum Proskery for the Sioux Greyhounds. They will sit for their altercation. So we do skate 4-on-4 in the offensive zone for the Spirit. And we've just received word a few minutes ago. Brady Martin opens the scoring for Team Canada in pre-tournament action. They are toe-to-toe with the Swedes right now at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Here's James Go, heads to the Sioux net, a backhanded shot. Good save by Gibson. James Go trying to showcase some Brady Martin-esque hands on that play. Good save by Miller.
Yeah, first time the World Juniors back in the United States up in Minneapolis. I attended the last one in Buffalo, and it is really, really cool to see such high-end hockey. Andrei Svechnikov was headlining that one, of course, the Barrie Colts back in the day. So a couple of great games out of him. Certainly one of the best times of the year if you're a junior hockey fan with the World Juniors just around the corner.
Barabanov gets the boot from this face-off, so now it's Nikita Klepov to go against McKenzie, and the Greyhound center wins that one. Jeremy Martin into the offensive zone. Shifts wide on Harper. Cuts back inside. Good stick lift by the rookie. The rebound chances back below the goal line now after Shurigan lost his stick. Martin tries to get it back for the Sioux. Closed off by Barabanov. Klepov on this puck. Skates it into the zone down the wing. Tried the drop back. McKenzie in the way. Klepov knocks it back down. This is below the goal line for Jakob Winkelhofer. Klepov not done yet. Winkelhofer into the corner. There for Lucas Fisher. Klepov on him. Fisher escapes. Up through center. Odd man break. McKenzie down the wing with Martin. McKenzie holds, waits. Too long, but he puts it in on the back door. It was Jeremy Martin. Brilliantly executed. They make the most of a broken play to make it 3-1.
Broken play is right. We talked about in the first period, Colin Fitzgerald and a change of scenery, what it's done for him. How about for Jeremy Martin now? His 15th point in just 22 games with the Sioux Greyhounds, and it was just right place, right time. Quinn McKenzie stick handle himself into submission, and I'm not sure Jeremy Martin's ever going to have easier ones than that one. Former first-round pick of the Flint Firebirds sitting there on the back door with a wide-open net and a 3-1 Greyhounds lead.
And as we get to look at the overhead, Shurigan spins around with the paddle. It's a little bit closer to making a stop than it might have initially appeared. Visitors have opened up a 3-1 lead. Popoy tries the wraparound again. That's shut down. Between the two games already played in this season and the last 2 years, 18 games between these two hockey teams. The visitors, 13-5. The visitors have the lead right now. Braden Jones. Back up to the point. Switches spots with Gervais. Gives the puck to Barch. Long shot wide. Too far on and off the stick of Gervais. There's Jones. Pumps it underneath. Brody Popoy. The reverse hit again. Looking in front. There for Hayden Barch. He chases things down into the neutral zone. Lucas Fisher picks up another assist. His third in a Sioux uniform. He's the secondary helper on that Jeremy Martin goal. Over the far side of the line, Braden Jones takes the hit from Fitzgerald and fires the puck back in behind Miller. Rim around pass. Back at 5-on-5 as Croskery and Cloutier are back on the ice. This is Sharon. Back below the Spirit goal line. Backhanded pass reeled in by Fisher. There into the circle. Brown for Sharon. Long shot with traffic in front. And again, Shurigan able to look around the bodies in front of him. And locate that puck into the glove for a face-off. 9.5 to go in the second. More line changes back up here for the Spirit. Things busier for Stephon Shurigan as the shot margin has widened considerably. 11 shots to 6 in this period. Now 22-13 of the game under Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters shot for. Jensen Geldart out to take the draw against Christopher Brown. And some help from Harper. Puts the puck onto the stick of Josh Glavin. He goes back out to center. And that puck really dug in at center ice. So now it's onto the tape of Liam Storch. Down the wing, cuts back against Croskery. Punches things underneath the Greyhound net. Puck knocked past Uri Rauja. Out to center off of Storch. This is Sharon. Tries to lower the shoulder on Glavin. Good defensive play there by 5 in blue. Jensen Geldart on things. Angled to the wall by Croskery. No more puck there. Pangretich on for Storch. Spun to the net. This is Jensen Geldart. Heading to the GOHL Top Prospects game. Running concurrent to the OHL Top Prospects game. Aerosmith up for Croskery. Poked away by Saginaw's Nick Sema. Harper up the wall. Trying to find Barabanov. Good angle there. The poke to the middle looking for Sema. It's taken away by Kaczynski. This is Aerosmith on the counterattack. Aerosmith poked after again. Another defensive stick there by Josh Glavin. That sends Klepov the other way. The long shoot in. Intending Sema to come away with it. The poke check by the goaltender gets that out of a dangerous opportunity. This is Barnes. The shot. That one sent wide on the glove side. Goal for Barabanov. Weaving his way against Winkelhofer. Lets another shot go. That's into the netting, out of play. 8:08 in the second. Really good heads-up play on the shoot-in. Well read by the netminder Miller.
We talked about in the first period Nick Sema and just how much of an igniter he could be for the Saginaw Spirit lineup and has been for years. 17 points in the season. Looks like he's up in that top line now with Barabanov and Klepov. And great read right there to spring Sema. Just a better heads-up play by Miller. That is the kind of energy the Spirit need. You need your home crowd into this game. You kick things off with a 1-0 start. But ever since then, it's been all Greyhounds. Who's going to be the difference maker here down the stretch as we're at the halfway point of this game for Saginaw?
Sema for the face-off against Fitzgerald. Marco Mignosa stretches at the line to stay on side. Andrew moves it back in for the Sioux. Mignosa off the boards. Gillen sweeps it near side, held on the backhand by Evans and spun back underneath again. Lost for a moment by Mignosa. But there on this puck again is Fitzgerald. Away from the hip check of Blake Barnes. Some jousting between those two. The puck being handled by a couple of other players. Finally squirting out here for Fitzgerald. Looks to the middle. Sweeps it to the net. Glancing blow off the stick of Stephon Shurigan. Mignosa below the Spirit net, trying to put it back in front. It's there for Barabanov. Knows he's got some room. Skates it out himself. Backhanded in. Line change coming. An errant pass will find its way onto the stick of McKenzie. Pops off that of Keegan Gillen. So that stalls the Sioux breakout, but they'll fire it back in behind Shurigan. Jones passes up through the center of the ice. Liam Storch can't get there. Tries to stick lift against Croskery, and he's taking a penalty. A hooking call coming up to Liam Storch here. 7 minutes left in the period.
Boy, that just looked like an errant pass up by Storch. Couldn't get up to, and right there, it might have been just a little lift to the stick. You see the hands kind of clench up, but otherwise right there underneath the glove maybe, but you always got to be careful. The closer that stick gets to the hand of a defender. Certainly a bang-bang play for the official. Nonetheless, this is a big penalty kill now here for the Saginaw Spirit. You do not want to go down 3 to this Greyhounds team, who just seem to be firing on all cylinders right now.
Again, the Greyhounds 0 for 2 on the man advantage going into this opportunity because it was ruled the Brown goal hit the back of the net before the time after the time of the penalty clock hit 0. Mignosa, Sharon, Croskery, Fitzgerald, and Fisher on the power play for John Dean's Sioux Greyhounds. Saginaw, the Stormmaster exteriors penalty kill goes to work. Mignosa for Fisher. Near side, one-timer. Fitzgerald scores. Snuck it in on the near goal post as Shurigan tried to lock it down. Just 12 seconds into the man advantage, the Sioux Greyhounds make it 4-1.
Second of the night for Colin Fitzgerald, now up to a point per game since being acquired from the Peterborough Petes. And that one, Sugargrin, I'm sure, will want back. Just snuck it between the low pad and the inside part of the post right there. His skate was just a little late getting to the post. You see it tucked behind him, but the time it caught up, it was already behind him. 4-1 Greyhounds. 4 unanswered goals here. 6:48 to go, second period.
So the power play does find the back of the net here for the Sioux. Xander Valeris looking for Brody Papoy. This is back down on an icing. 6:39 to go in the second. And the face-off down in Spirit territory again. Callum Croskery and Marco Mignosa have picked up the assists on that power play goal for Fitzgerald. Given 3 power play goals in the last 6 hockey games now. He has the Greyhounds firmly in the driver's seat here on this Wednesday night. Pangretich, shot fought off by Stepan Shurigan. Luce off the boards, gloved down at center by Pangretich. Croskery, the backhanded pass back to him. Trying to spring Sharon. James Goh was there. Valeris taking to the boards. Here's Tobias Walensky. Off some sticks. Has to go back up to the top of the zone. Evans spun that one rink wide now. It's Croskery. It's Walensky. Intercepted by James Goh. Papoy for Kluche. Can't get around Evans. Back on this puck through center. Closed off by Carson Harmer. Valeris. There for James Goh again. Locks this puck out through center. Glove down by Keegan Gillen and returns things to James Goh. Papoy hit by Evans. Puck now for the Sioux, Brady Smith. Keegan Gillen off the skate of Smith. Reeled in by Goh. Quick play towards the middle. Jensen Geldart can't turn that puck into an offensive chance. So this is Mignosa back in here for the Sioux. Has to untie from Smith. Then Kaczynski. Back to Mignosa. Near side Evans. Lots of room and a stick save made. And right hand to Shurigan flashed out. Really good opportunity there again for the Sioux. Gillen not done yet. Right circle. Mignosa doubles back away from James Goh. Good active stick by the Spirit defenseman tracking high in the D zone. So the Greyhounds back to their own blue line. This is tossed back in by Evans. Gervais against Kaczynski. Valeris there too. Backhanded pass. Rauja wants to find Jensen Geldart. Off the skate of James Goh into the zone. Just tosses it towards the net and diving on that puck. Landon Miller from what seemed to be an innocuous play. He'll cover for a faceoff. 4:49 here in period 2. 4-1 Greyhounds. 4 unanswered goals. Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center, 4-1. The Sioux Greyhounds have a lead. 4 unanswered goals. Christopher Brown, Colin Fitzgerald, Jeremy Martin, then a Colin Fitzgerald power play goal, his 10th of the season. 4 unanswered here for the Sioux. Saginaw being outshot 14-7 in the period. Dylan Clark along with Jack Snevice. And Jack, it doesn't take much to turn momentum in a hockey game, but whatever it is, the Spirit need it now.
Yeah, and you see it all the time in this league, how quickly goals can be scored. Sioux Greyhounds scored 2 in that first period, 31 seconds apart. But you mentioned it, partner. Time is ticking down. You need a spark plug. That's why you got guys like Nick Seam off the top line now with Barbanov and Klepov. Good line to start with out of the timeout. Maybe a chance right in front right there.
Good steal from Harper to start that exchange. Harper down low, then high. It's Nick Seema again. Takes the shot. That one sails wide on the stick side. Chop up into the air with Glavin. Then Seema down for Barabanov. He's been plugged up on this top line in the exchange of Sebastian Gervais. Winkelhofer now No dice on the offensive opportunity for the Spirit. Now McKenzie's going to beat the ice and got a quick shot. Doesn't get all of it. That could have been a dangerous opportunity from a flat angle. Puck squirts back in front of the Spirit net. Klepov there to take care of it with Sema. The shovel back doesn't get there. Lucas Fisher. 3 assists in 4 games now with a helper tonight in his new team. Here's a chance. McKenzie up front. Great save again. Shurigan gets enough with the glove. To rob McKenzie of another grade A opportunity right on the edge of the blue crease. Callum Croskery for Lucas Fisher. Fired back into Shurigan's area. Glavin lost the puck. Carson Andrew there. Back for Croskery. Greyhounds trying to set up camp in the offensive zone. Andrew for Fitzgerald. 2 goals already in this game. Cross-ice pass hops over the stick of Mignosa. Back underneath the net of Shurigan. This is Fitzgerald. Good pass in front. Backhand chance. Somehow kept out by the Spirit netminder. Mignosa thought he had a sure goal. Fitzgerald holds and finds Croskery. Turns back against Klepov. Just inside the blue line. Keeps on going to the right circle now. The defenseman making the most of the area on the ice. A turning shot by Andrew saves Shurigan. Rebound chance. Shurigan got that too. And Barabanov up the wall but not out. Croskery still. They sneak new bodies on. Sharon the shot. He scores. 4 saves from the Spirit netminder. The Greyhounds hold the puck in the offensive zone. Jordan Sharon makes it 5-1.
You knew if that puck didn't get out, it had a chance to get ugly. And Jordan Sharon, 5th-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins with an NHL-type release. Fresh off the bench. Great work in the offensive end by the Greyhounds. And Sharon right to the dot and let it rip. Shooter and never saw it. Another screen in front. Mignosa was there. And it just found its way through bodies. Left side. 5-1 Greyhounds, just like that.
8 goals in the first 8 games of this season for Jordan Sharon. Give him 19 now and 31 to lead the Sioux Greyhounds. And he's led them to a 5-1 lead here in the second period. Luce pumps it around. Braden Jones there with Sharon. Jones goes back to work from the corner. In front looking for Kluche. Tries to dust it off. Bart's near side. Shot into traffic. Save made by Miller. He lost the rebound. Kluche has it. Harmer back down as Papoy's on top of one of the Greyhounds in front. Jones tries to cycle below the goal line. Christopher Brown. Cut off by Brody Papoy. Carson Harmer. Can't keep things alive. It'll be taken away. Given back and forth for Gillen. Kluche cuts him off. Can't untangle the stick there from Gillen's arm. Kluche hauls down one of the Greyhounds and a penalty's coming, and Kluche figures he might as well get his money out of it. A little bit of frustration mounting here as Harmer and Evans go back and forth at one another. Kluche looks like he wants a piece of Sharon.
Yeah, frustration, a great word there, Dylan. Just seems like everything has not gone the Spirit way tonight. Kluche is going to sit right now. Getting doubled up in shots, 5-1 on the score sheet. Greyhounds came out, made a statement so far through 40 minutes of play. And maybe that's even Kluche as a veteran on this team. Draft pick of the Winnipeg Jets just trying to start anything, some kind of a boost to his team. You saw there the stick got tied up in the paraphernalia of Gillen, took him down.
Hooking the call that sends Saginaw to its 4th Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill in the game. Here's Fisher off the draw. Shot blocked by the stick of Glavin. Croskery held up by James Go. Nick Sema locates and clears the puck out of danger. Landon Miller uses the net as a bit of a barrier between he and Sebastian Gervais.
2 minutes for hooking, time of penalty 18-17.
There's potential with the extra punch from Kluche for maybe even another roughing penalty on top of that.
That sends us to a Stormmaster penalty kill.
Kluche got tied up with the Kitchener Rangers goaltender Jason Schaubel at the end of the shootout on Saturday. That started a bit of a stare down at center ice. Here's Fitzgerald. 2 goals already in this game. Final 60 seconds of the middle period. Tipped off a couple of sticks. Maybe some friendly fire there from the Greyhounds up high. Short-handed opportunity. Gervais trying to find Sema. He gets hauled down by Fitzgerald. Play continues. Fitzgerald up ice. Vignosa in. Gets past James Go. Down to the goal line. Louse looking in front. Sharon can't pull the trigger. There's Fitzgerald. Can't tuck it in. Wraparound chance. Somehow kept out again by Shurigan. 30 seconds left in the period. Sharon fired it back in. The crowd at the Dow Event Center getting restless here. Bartz for Go. Out of the zone here. There's Miller with Trevor Thoyer creeping back after him. Quinn McKenzie. Cuts inside the zone away from Carson Harmer. Noah Louse. McKenzie. One-time opportunity. That's off the stick of Carson Harmer. And gets the Spirit back to the second intermission. 18-8, the shots in favor of the Sioux Greyhounds in that second period. 30-15 in the game. They got a 5-1 lead. They'll have a power play to start period 2. We take a break. When we come back, Hayden Bartz back in the lineup here tonight. Joins us down from ice level. We're back after this with Hayden here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
We're Duralast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Duralast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Duralast, the world's best roof.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh & Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh & Associates, retirement made clear.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Hi, this week on Generating Gratitude, with all the public figures behaving badly, before we pick up that rock and criticize and judge, maybe we should remember we live in a glass house. I'll explain this week on Generating Gratitude.
Generating Gratitude, Saturday mornings at 7 and Sunday evenings at 5 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com. Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Spirit and the Sioux Greyhounds, a 5-1 lead right now. Saginaw some PK time coming up in this third period. Joining us down from ice level, back in the lineup here tonight, Spirit defenseman Hayden Bartz. And Bartz, if we can, let's go back to the first period here. You guys get on the score sheet early on. Igor Barabanov, his 14th goal of the season. You pick up the primary assist. Walk us through that goal for me if you can.
Yeah, it was just put the puck on net, rebound. Barbs climbed up the wall, and he just had a great shot. So it was nice to see him score and pick up that primary. But yeah.
And for yourself, back into the lineup here tonight. I know it's tough to watch, but how good does it feel to get back into the game?
Yeah, it feels really good just being back with the boys, and just even I was telling the guys, like, this is one of the first times I'm actually excited to get out for warm-ups before the game. But yeah, it's an awesome feeling to be back and playing. So.
And in your second year here with the team, you're not one of the young guys anymore. You're looked up to as more of a leader in the group. How have you worked with some of the younger guys on the back end, like Levi Harper?
Protecting him on the ice, just keeping his confidence up, always bringing him up on the bench. Like I feel like our whole decor does that. Like our whole decor is leaders. So yeah, we all kind of chip in there.
In this season series so far, we've seen lots of goals scored in lots of bunches between the Spirit and the Sioux. So nothing's out of the question here in the third period. What are you guys focused on here in the final 20 minutes to try and make a comeback?
Just trying to get pucks out, good D zone, competing, and a lot of physicality. I feel like if we outwork them, we can definitely pot off 4 here in the third.
Hayden, appreciate the time. Good luck in period 3.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's Spirit defenseman Hayden Barnes back in the lineup, already on the score sheet with an assist in that first period. Some good work as this game has gone along. And again, with 17 seconds on the PK here for the Spirit to start the third period. 6 is probably going to be out there sooner rather than later. We'll take a break. We'll bring Jack Snevice into the conversation. Highlights from the second period. Breakdowns coming after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Beerline Companies also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
My Michigan Health is your go-to place for comprehensive brain, stroke, and spine care right here in your community. Our expert neuroscience team provides care close to home with multiple certified stroke centers throughout the region, including the only comprehensive stroke center in Saginaw. With 24/7 medical expertise, the latest diagnostic tools, and advanced treatments, we're ready when you need us most. Learn more at mymichigan.org/neuro.
It's time for your intermission report from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Here's Dylan Clark.
Unanswered goals. We'll take a look back through some of the plays that made that second period. The goaltenders have dazzled on a number of occasions here in this hockey game. Stepan Shurigan, again, 5 pucks have gotten past him here in this hockey game, but there are quite a few that have not that probably should have. You saw that save there on Quinn McKenzie. And good looks out of the corner. Liam Storch finds Jensen Geldon right on the doorstep. Landon Miller says, hey, don't forget about me. Really good save from point-blank range. And a partial breakaway opportunity. Miller shows the flexibility of his own there as he shuts down Carson Harmer in a bid for what would have been his 8th goal of the season. Quinn McKenzie brings things back the other way for the Sioux Greyhounds, and a broken play, maybe not the way he drew it up, but it does find the back of the net off the stick of Jeremy Martin. His 12th goal of the season. Stretched things further. Made it 3-1 in favor of the Sioux. Then a power play goal. Colin Fitzgerald does break through, his second of the hockey game, first power play marker in 3 opportunities for the Sioux. And then the real momentum breaker for the Spirit as they try to come back. Got 4 big saves in the defensive zone from Stepan Shurigan. Jordan Sharon steps onto the ice, team-leading 19th goal of the year, fresh off the bench. It was a short shift, and it made the hockey game 5-1 in favor of the Sioux. Your intermission stats brought to you by Raymond. 18-8, the shots in the second period. Greyhounds 1 for 3 on the power play. Saginaw 0 for 2. We bring it back up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark with Jack Snevice. And Jack, let's start with the shots there in that second period. 18-8 in favor of the visitors. They were smothering in that middle frame.
Well, you look back in the end of the first period, there was a 1-0 Saginaw lead with 3 minutes to go, and then all of a sudden you blink twice, now it's 5-1 Sioux. They found their mojo at the end of that first period, and it carried over into the second. You saw the shots, as mentioned, 18-8. Multiple power plays, multiple goals. They seem unbeatable right now, and that's nothing against Saginaw and Shurigan right now. He's been playing very well. He's come up with timely saves. It's just been right place, right time, and they have been capitalizing when they've had their scoring chances. That has been the biggest difference in the world in this game. You're getting double up in shots, double up in chances, and you're getting as many goals as you are for the Sault Greyhounds right now.
Lucas Fisher advertised as one of the harder guys in the OHL to get around on the back end. Flexing the offensive muscles a little bit here in this hockey game. Had 2 assists in 3 games with the Sioux. Coming into the game, he's got 2 helpers right now. They're without one of, if not the best defenseman in the Ontario Hockey League in Chase Reed. Fisher, Croskery, everybody stepping up on the back end for the Sioux, but Fisher in particular.
Well, Fisher has been as advertised, right? He's a second-round pick for a reason. There's a reason the trade was what it was, but you look even deeper than that. Fitzgerald picked up in a trade with the Peterborough Petes. Jeremy Martin picked up in a trade with the Flint Firebirds. There are 3 acquisitions. Normally you wait until the middle of January, early January when the deadline rolls around to see teams be as active as Kyle Raftis has been. He made 3 acquisitions who have made a significant impact here tonight, and you mentioned it. Reed not here tonight. Martin not here tonight. Hayes not here tonight. Those 3 have stepped up, and they're brand new to the team. You think about where this Greyhounds team is now. Think about where they might become March when the chemistry really starts to amplify, and all of these guys have sort of carved out their roles in the team, because I have been thoroughly impressed with not only Fisher, as you mentioned, but Fitzgerald and Martin, as mentioned, and just the acquisitions and how seamless they fit into this Greyhounds lineup.
Stepan Shurigan under siege at points in that hockey game. Still making the athletic saves, looking for some opportunities at the other end. The second line, Brody Papoy, Carson Harmer, Jacob Klutze. We saw the frustration there on the Klutze hooking penalty, but still some good scoring chances between the 3 of them. They're likely to stick together here in the third period, and they're likely one of the trios that's probably most likely to get Saginaw back in this game.
Yeah, we talked about the first intermission. We're looking for more from that line, and we're looking for more from Harmer and Klutze, on the season, building off of what they did a year ago, and Papoy has kind of fit in now on that second line. He seems to be everywhere. The puck seems to be finding him. But again, it's been timely saves by Landon Miller. Those 3 had 2, 3, 4 opportunities in that second period as of the top line for Saginaw. And Miller's not seeing the flurry of chances that Shurigan is, but he's making the timely saves. You saw the breakaway. You saw the odd man rush chances. You saw that little slip pass from Papoy early in that period. Those saves add up in a game like this, that it could be 5-3 and feeling completely different going into a third frame where, okay, it's a 2-goal lead rather than a 4-goal lead. Those saves are timely, and you're going to be relying on that second line, that top 6 for Saginaw to just keep firing. You never know. It's a 20, Greyhounds had 3 goals there in the second period. It's doable for Saginaw, but you're going to need your top guys on their game early and often in this third period.
Sebastian Gervais swapped out for Nick Sema on that top line with Igor Barabanov and Nikita Klepov, at least at the end of the period. This is a game where you really miss Dima Zhilkin up on that top line with his fellow Russians. But what does Nick Sema bring to that top line that might be a little bit different than the toolbox of Sebastian Gervais?
Well, we talked about his motor, right? He's go, go, go every time he's on the ice. It doesn't matter if they're trailing 12-1 or winning 12-1. He's going to give you his all each and every shift. And so playing him on a line with guys like Barabanov and Klepov, who are going to be more, notorious for finding the back of the net, finding those offensive chances. What better way to send one out there who's going to win the battles? Be in every battle. Be in the key opportunities in the corner to spring a puck free, find those offensive weapons, and try and chip away at this Greyhound lead.
Well, chip away is the task at hand here for the Spirit Greyhounds in the driver's seat. 5-1 going into the third period. They've got 17 seconds of power play time as Jacob Klutze rounds out his hooking penalty to start period number 3. We'll take a break. We'll come out with our out-of-town scores, check in on our friends in London and Owen Sound and everybody else in action tonight. Your out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Coming up after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to playing surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Carroll, Croswell, and Seaboing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Hi, this is Jacob Gutze, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Buffalo Wild Wings, 2 other games in the Ontario Hockey League tonight on this Wednesday. 4 unanswered goals for the London Knights. They lead Owen Sound 4-2. Andoni Themis, Braden Clark. Another Andoni Themis goal in Jared Woolley, his 7th of the season, to open up quite the margin. Nicholas Sikora and Pierce Bowie, the only 2 goals for the Owen Sound attack, as the Knights outshot Owen Sound 20-13 in that second period. 3 unanswered goals for the Kitchener Rangers. They're on the road tonight because Team Canada is using their home barn. Hayden Ellis, Weston Cameron, and Carson Campbell seem to be just fine at Progressive Auto Sales Arena. They've got the 3-1 lead over the Sarnia Sting. Jack Van Volsen, the lone Sting goal. And checking in on Team Canada, they are in a 1-1 tie right now with Team Sweden. And the big mystery, what will Team Canada's goal song be? Well, Sioux Greyhounds forward Brady Martin let him know. It'll be Courage by the Tragically Hip. That's the big reveal here in Game 1 of pre-tournament action. Your out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings here in the Ontario Hockey League. London and Kitchener lead going into the third. The Sioux Greyhounds lead going into the third here in Saginaw. 5-1 from the Dow Event Center. Lots of goals have been scored in bunches here in this season series. More on that when we start the third period coming up after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
This is Christiana Malagata, your host of That's What She Said. This week, we're sitting down with a woman who has gone through unimaginable loss and uses her experience to support others. Anisha Stanley talks about grief, faith, and what it takes to pivot. Tune in.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malagata. Presented by CMU Health. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday evenings at 6 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Time here for the Sioux. Dylan Clark alongside Jack Stavlice. Jack, normally I'd ask you, what does Saginaw have to do to get back in this hockey game? Let's flip it. You're up 5-1 in the third period. What do you have to do to carry it into the finish line?
Well, it's very easy to come out sometimes with a lead as big as this one and sit back. If you're the Greyhounds, you got to come out and just play the hockey you played for 40 minutes in a row. All it takes is sometimes is one goal to find the back of the net if you're the Saginaw Spirit to turn the tides.
Fitzgerald right on. Papineau will start the third period here for the Saginaw Spirit. He hangs on his first save of the game and a late welcome here into this contest.
And right on cue, that's exactly what you do if you're the Sioux Greyhounds. That is how you maintain a 4-goal lead. Yes, they are on the power play, but to have a chance like that 9 seconds into the frame after out-shooting your opponent 30-15 in the game, to start the third that way is a great sign of things the rest of the way if you're a Greyhounds fan.
Caleb Papineau returns to action here for the Spirit. For the first time since December the 6th, the Saginaw clears this puck out. Strongest game of the year, 35 stops out of 38 in a loss at the Brampton Steelheads. Here's Andrew, a shot, and that one pretty much in the same spot the first opportunity was, as Papineau staples it to the chest protector and hangs on for a draw. 27 seconds gone in the third. The Spirit do survive the tail end of the Jacob Cloutier hooking penalty. The Greyhounds are 1 for 4 on the power play. Stepan Shurigan replaced after 5 goals on 30 shots. Some remarkable saves. But a breather for the OHL's busiest goaltender, as this is Brody Popoy trying to go inside out on Pangredich. This is McKenzie. These teams have met 3 times this year. All 3 times, somebody has scored 5 unanswered goals. James Go right to the net. Save made by Landon Miller. Saginaw was down 3-0 in the season opener back on September the 19th before they rattled off 5 unanswered. Greyhounds returned the favor on October the 15th, and then again here tonight. As this is McKenzie. Near side, Pangredich. Cross-ice feed. Disrupted and a bounce back in front of the Spirit bench, so it's out to center ice. Winkelhofer against the forecheck, and Cloutier finds Pangredich. No allows. Drop pass. Martin, 1 goal already tonight. Cross-ice feed for McKenzie. Out of the left corner again. Dropped off. This is Barabanov. Backhanded pass. Can't be settled by Cloutier or Simo. So McKenzie, a long shot. And the left hand across the chest on Caleb Papineau to make the save. Doesn't want to hang on, though. Keeps things moving. Pass off the skate of Barabanov. That'll shut down the Spirit counterattack and nearly give things back the other direction for Sharon. Trouble high in the zone. Barnes and Sema run into one another. Barabanov drops it off to himself, then back off the boards for Sema, back in front looking for Klepov. Chris Lazary's kept these 3 together. Klepov, Barabanov, and Sema. That's your top line here in the third for Saginaw. Christopher Brown, Gillen, then Brown back in, and Klepov for Saginaw. Fan on that cross-ice pass. Kaczynski was there. And now icing here against the Spirit as that pass up to Igor Barabanov does not come off the wall quite the way he expected. 17:41 here in this third period. And a face-off back down near Caleb Papineau off the icing.
And if you're the Greyhounds, you have to like the effort right now. It's there. You're attacking your opponent who just hasn't brought the same intensity to start the third period. You're acting like a team down 4 goals. That is exactly what you want to do. Put your foot on the gas, knowing you have your rivals right where you want them, and a big 2 points potentially to extend this win streak just 17 minutes away.
Klepov gets to the puck before Croskery. Goes down awkwardly back in behind the Sioux net. He pops back up. That right leg got wrapped up there. Good to see 98 back on his skates as this is firing back over the head of Caleb Papineau. Loose puck up the boards. Klepov pushed back in. Jensen Geldart has a step with Bartz breaking. Geldart trying to put it in front there. Nicely shut down. A good defensive stick in front, I believe. Pangredich got that one. He's got it now. Croskery. Stretch pass. Kaczynski well into the zone. By time it was carried in by Brady Smith and offside.
Jensen Geldart has been a small bright spot in the night for the Saginaw Spirit. You heard pregame in Coach's Corner with Coach Lasry. They had a first-round grade on him, and he's only played 8 games for this Spirit team, coming off his first career goal. But it just seems like he's been everywhere around the net with a puck on his stick. That is normally a sign of good things to come for such a young player. Interested to see what his development looks like this season, because he has had a few opportunities just like that one where he's able to create something out of nothing in front of the Greyhound net.
Groundhog Day on the icing. 16:52 to go in the third. Geldart, the 4th-round pick of the Sioux Greyhounds fourth round pick of the Saginaw Spirit in 2025. 15 points in 18 games with their GOHL affiliate, the Chatham Maroons. And again, we touched on it earlier. That's why he got the invite to the GOHL Prospects game. On the Spirit side, Geldart joins Brody Nagin, Caden Sienko, both of whom have played games at the OHL level. And Max Wildfong, playing with the Stratford Warriors, gets the call as well as a Spirit prospect to Peterborough. Here's Geldart now. First OHL goal on Saturday against Kitchener. He's with Gervais and Liam Storch, who's on this puck now from the left corner. Storch against Mignosa. Shifty in the corner. Back up to the point. Glavin. Stick betrays him. Here's a chance. Gervais in front, tied up by Fisher. Both of their sticks hold, and so this is back out to center. 3-on-2. Mignosa there for Andrew. On the exchange, they go back to the corner. Mignosa. Been talking a lot about the third line here for the Sioux Greyhounds in this game, but Marco Mignosa, team leader with 36 points on the season coming into tonight's game. Great story at last year's NHL draft. 2 years undrafted after his eligibility, and then gets picked up in the 7th round by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Can be a similar story this year for Igor Barabanov. Originally available for the 2024 NHL draft. Undrafted twice, and now a B-ranked prospect. There's a turnaround chance for McKenzie. Stopped by Papineau. Rebound fired wide by Evans. This is Uri Rauja at center. Well, Laus tries to steal. The long shoot-in goes off the boards, and then the shoot goaltender, Jeremy Martin, back up. This is Quinn McKenzie. Curling, and the drop-off for Laus is off the blocker of Caleb Papineau. As they weave their way into the offensive zone, Trevor Thoyer lays a hit just inside the Spirit blue line on Croskery. Barabanov back behind the Spirit net. Thanks again to Callum Croskery for joining us back in the first intermission. As a stick up high, we'll catch Croskery there. Trevor Thoyer on the high stick. That's not the thanks we were hoping to send. 15:07 to go in the third period. That was some unfortunate timing.
Certainly incidental as well. Thoyer trying to knock that puck out of the air, but nonetheless caught him in the face. Good to see Croskery is okay. But nonetheless, another power play. The stats are going to read 1 for 3 for the Greyhounds on the power play. But it is more like 2 for 3 as the Brown goal scored to tie things up came right as the clock hit 0 on the power play. An unofficial power play goal, and the Greyhounds power play has stayed red hot. The shot from there by Fisher caught a stick and glass.
They'll keep it in. Fisher for Croskery. Just 2 minutes on the penalty as a blocker saved by Papineau puts this puck into the corner. So no blood drawn on the high stick from Trevor Thoyer. Here's a good chance. Fitzgerald, 2 goals already. Make it 3. He doesn't even know he scored. Now he does. Hat-trick goal in the power play makes it 6-1. And Colin Fitzgerald looking for some hats. I don't know that he'll find any.
When you're hot, you don't even know you're scoring goals. That was one from Fitzgerald. He was just sending on net, looking for a tip. I think it hit off a Saginaw defender's stick and popped right over top of Papineau. Sure enough, it looks like Barch right off his twig. Changed direction just a few feet in front of Papineau, and that is one way to get a hat trick. And Colin Fitzgerald, what an acquisition he has been for the Sioux Greyhounds. A hat trick and a 6-1 lead.
Third multi-goal game of the season for Fitzgerald. As we do have a review right now. 4th of his career. It could be his first OHL hat trick if the goal stands. But right now, the iPad is out for Nicholas Bett and Curtis Pear, our WNEM TV5 referees for tonight's game. And so maybe a glimmer of hope for the Spirit
The only thing I can think they'd be reviewing is the zone entry or the keeping across the way in front of the Saginaw bench for an offside potentially, because it certainly didn't look like it hit anything. Are they looking, for if it caught the netting?
I think you're right. That could be what they're looking at. We'll see if we can pull our wide angle on that Fisher chance. This is the one. We've seen it hit the glass for sure. I don't know if it pops up in the air and kisses the netting after that. But this is our best bet for what is being looked at. And again, unfortunately, it's not conclusive where that puck goes, at least not from the monitor we have up here in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Some of you watching on 80-inch screens might be able to see a little bit better than we can.
It certainly looked like live view, seeing that shot.
Yeah.
Saw it hit the glass and pop straight up into the air. I don't know where it could be hitting the netting, or if they were looking at the keep it across the way. That was clearly onside. But everything seems like a good goal. Here's the overhead look.
I don't know.
That's in the whole way.
Yeah, I don't think there's a second, because you're looking for a second bounce, because you see it very clearly hit the pane of glass. You see the net move, but that's residual from the shockwave of the glass. You would think that, okay, maybe off the bounce from the glass, it goes to the corner and kisses the netting. That does not appear to be the case from that replay. Off the glass, back into play. But again, they'll continue to review. Nicholas Bett and Curtis Pear have the iPad out just outside the penalty box. Caleb Papineau goes for a skate in the corner. He's got to stay warm, and he's been busy to start this third period here. Again, his first bit of action in just about 11 days. The Greyhounds are off to a 7-0 shot lead here in the third period. So maybe Colin Fitzgerald will have to wait for his first career OHL hat trick.
Well, regardless, 19 seconds into the power play, you have to think with the Greyhounds, the effort they have come out with in the third period, it's 1 minute and 41 seconds of power play time that they'll have if somehow this is overturned. And
this is the play being reviewed right now to see if the puck stays in. Roll things forward. Colin Fitzgerald will eventually find a power play goal here for the Sault Greyhounds. As again, probably, 15 or 20 seconds elapsed between the Fitzgerald shot that does get through Papineau and the puck out of play. Maybe that was why the palm's up in the air from Fitzgerald. As after all that, it's going to stand as Nicholas Bett and Curtis Parent decide that the puck stayed in play. And again, we did show you the puck came back out to the edge of the blue line. It looked maybe a little bit close.
Coach Lazary certainly has his disagreement.
Right. That's why there may be something we're not entirely considering, but the goal stands at 6-1. The penalty box door remains open for Saginaw. Have they taken another penalty here? As maybe the Spirit challenge. Well, now we're getting some conflicting reports back up here at the media level. 14:47 here in period 3. Jensen Geldart is serving a penalty right now here for the Spirit. As again, we might have to take another look at this. 6-1 right now, 5-1 potentially. And I think they are going to have a little bit more confusion here. So that's up there. The phone's going to come out again. So a longer break. And yeah, Jack, you're right. Chris Lazary is pretty confident on the Saginaw bench right now.
All of this in a 6-1 hockey game as well.
So up to this moment, it would appear that you're right. So there's potential for a challenge. That's why Geldar's in the box. We've not heard anything about a coach's challenge here inside the building, but we're trying to put the puzzle pieces together up here right now. .47 left in the third. It's a 5-1 game. It's a 6-1 game. And another dispute where we've had a season where we've had quite a few of them to this point here. So the iPad's out again. So it's either 5 or 6 unanswered on the Spirit or the Sioux Greyhound side of things.
It's like both officials back to the iPad now, wondering where we're at. 7-0 the shots in this third period. It has been all Greyhounds. As finally, we might have some resolution here.
Well, the opinion up here appears to be that the puck did go out of play and touch the netting on that initial Fisher shot. So, from the angles they have, and again, the league with the new replay system has some additional camera angles that are not available to us here on the broadcast side of things. They've got a clearer view of the netting. They can see everything, really. They've got a clearer view of the netting. They'll say the puck goes out off the glass, then the netting, then lands in that far corner. So it is no goal. And Colin Fitzgerald back to 2 goals on the night. Greyhounds back to a 5-1 lead. Trevor Thoyer back to the penalty box. Jack and I back to a place where we know that we can tell you what's going on.
Well, there wasn't too much of an argument down there on the Sioux Greyhound side of things. I think it was more probably happy that was resolved, and you have to think they got it right. But now you have 1:40 on the power play, more time on the clock as well, and it remains a 5-1 game. So at the end of all of that, could that be a momentum swing in favor of the Saginaw Spirit? You never know what could turn a game, but I'm sure if you're the Greyhounds, you're coming out determined to try and put that 6th goal back on the board.
Momentum swing, momentum change. We're picking back up from a standstill right now. Trevor Thoyer's in the penalty box for high sticking. The Sioux Greyhounds are on the power play for the 5th time tonight. It's a 5-1 lead. Menyosa cross ice right onto the stick of Jacob Cloutier. And here's an opportunity. Short-handed Cloutier draws a penalty and a right pad save made by Fisher. Do we see a penalty shot? Yes, we do. Welcome to junior hockey. 14:31 to go in the third. It is never boring. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but it's always entertaining.
And just like that, 30 seconds later, out of what could have been, maybe should have been, who knows even if it was a 6-1 game, a shorthanded penalty shot opportunity now and a great chance for Jacob Cloutier.
7 goals on the season. He was denied in the shootout against Kitchener. Cloutier, stop there. A good save by Landon Miller. So it would have been a step back in the right direction for the Spirit. Patience from Miller. Follows Cloutier the whole way in. Small adjustments. Trying to go 5-hole on the stick in the right position. Well played by the Sioux netminder.
He has been calm, cool, and collected all night long as Landon Miller has not been called upon often, but when he has stood tall and answered the bell, and a big reason why his team sits with a comfortable 4-goal lead here in the third.
That's not going to count towards his game total. 15 saves on the night, +1 on the penalty shot. Noah Laus back in here. The power play remains for the Sioux Greyhounds. They're halfway through it. Trevor Thoyer in the Spirit penalty box for high sticking. We'll see what other surprises await us here in this third. Brown up the far wall. Saginaw sneaks off one of the penalty killers, Nick Sema. Quinn McKenzie back into the offensive end with some speed as they want to get that power play goal back. And Jack, to your point, it may have taken a little while, but there's the importance of getting it right. Now here's another short-handed breakaway for Cloutier. Nearly draws another penalty. He feels he should be given one. But that one shut down with some pressure coming back. Now the Spirit fumble this one shorthanded in our own end. Fisher just inside the Greyhound blue line. They'll sort things out here. Final moments on the Greyhound power play. Fitzgerald, rising shot. No chance there on that potential for a third goal of the game. Caleb Papineau is laboring down to our right at this moment. Trevor Thoyer's out of the penalty box. The Spirit have killed it off. We'll keep an eye on the Saginaw netminder. That puck may have come up and caught him in the collarbone. Jones from the defensive end. And as we've seen on technically 3 occasions, Colin Fitzgerald can put some muscle on that release. Callum Croskery, point shot, sails wide. The chop from Klepov gets the puck away from the Sioux Fisher. Barnes can't spring seam up. Mignosa calmly back, Croskery back up to him. Nick Seema, trouble on that puck at center. Landon Miller there to stop it for the Sioux. Nearly 8 minutes gone here in the third period. Intercepted by Popoy. Checks to see that Klepov touched up. Popoy, the drop pass. Barabanov scores! Second of the hockey game. Finds its way through Landon Miller. 12:09 to go in the third period, and Saginaw's on the board. It's 5-2.
Well, Brody Popoy has been all over the ice, and the puck has been finding him here tonight. You're going to ask Landon Miller. He'd love to have that one back, but nonetheless, a great shot from Barabanov right underneath the blocker. They say the worst place for a goaltender, between the blocker and the low pad, and that's exactly where he snuck it through. It looked like it caught just a little bit of Miller's blocker, but not nearly enough to keep it out, and a great drop pass from Popoy. And just like that, 3-goal game in a game that could have been 6-1 just a few minutes ago.
Brody Popoy, 7 points in his last 7 games now. Barabanov's second goal of the night, 15 on the year, and a little bit of belief leads the Spirit back into the offensive zone. Popoy lifted off that puck by Noah Laus. Stretch pass looking for Laus again in the neutral zone as Harper comes back to retrieve this puck. Popoy gets the only assist on the Barabanov goal. Josh Glavin leads the charge in for the Spirit. Then it's Carson Harmer. Cloutier, 2 Greyhounds to him. Martin takes it away. This is Tobias Walensky. Wide on Juraj Rauja. Fellow Team Slovakia teammate. It's Walensky out of the corner again. Pass up high, can't be handled there by Pangrenich. So it's Croskery ducking out of a hit from Rauja and turning the puck back in for Papineau. Levi Harper up for Jensen Geldart, trying to spring Rauja. It's in his skates. That doesn't turn into anything. This is Geldart back in the neutral zone. Winds up, does it again. This time it's flipped near side. Gervais after it. Pushed underneath. Jensen Geldart can't flag it down. Hayden Bartz again. Back up to the right point. Rauja fills in for him and sends it back down to him. Too far. Gervais and Jones after this one for the Spirit. Jensen Geldart holds at the left point, puts it off the wall there for Gervais, and spins it back down low for Jones. Put back in front. Here's a chance. Geldart scores! Great feed from Jones. Geldart goes 5-hole. Second goal in as many games. 2-goal contest here in the third period.
Geldart, another one we highlighted early in this period, just finding that puck around the net has been where he has been all night long, and he is rewarded on a great feed from Jones. Just snuck it through the wickets of Miller. Second goal in as many days, as you said, partner. Great move, pulling it to the backhand, settling a bouncing puck. That is a lot harder than it looks with 3 white jerseys surrounding you. Forehand, backhand, settled, 5-hole, 5-3.
Chipped it to himself. There's some puck skill for you.
Guess what?
Oh, no. Our friend, we got a timeout here. I thought the iPads were coming out. Sorry. Premature there. So a timeout being taken. And things being settled back down. Here on the Sioux bench. Belief on the Saginaw side of things. We saw Carson Harmer do something similar last season. Flip the puck up and whack it out of the air on the backhand. Jensen Geldart, the skill is apparent. Second goal in as many games. He's made it a 2-goal game, and Jack, like we said, could have been 6-1 on that Sioux power play goal. 10.5 to go. Saginaw's within 2. Jones is going to pick up the primary assist on Jensen Geldart's goal. Back to action after the timeout. Lucas Fisher trying to sweep this one towards the net. Goes off the outside of the cage. Carson Andrew. Now it's Barabanov. Gervais gets the other helper, and you know what? Here's Nick Sema down the wing to the net. Sema off the outside of the cage, and the save by Miller as he got twisted around. Jensen Geldart started that play as well. Kind of ran out of options and flipped it into an area for Gervais. Fitzgerald would like his 3rd goal back. This is back in behind the Saginaw net. Barabanov for James Gold, then angled in by Nikita Klepov. Puck chased down here by Spencer Evans. Near side Louse. Fired back in off the outside of the cage. Harper gets to it first ahead of Jeremy Martin. Brody Papoy. Luce helps it back to him. Papoy down the wing with Harmer joining. Papoy inside out to the circle. Carrying players with the wraps and around and scores! Took it 3 tries. The wraparound pays off. Saginaw's within 1.
What a night this is turning out to be in Saginaw, Michigan. Papoy everywhere, if we stress all night long. He's even drawing a delayed penalty with a wraparound chance. Now the question will be with Harmer in the blue paint. Did he prevent Miller from getting over there in time to make a save? And it looks like Miller way out of his net before he even had an opportunity to outstretch that pad. But I'm guessing this play will be under review. However, remember the Greyhounds did just use their timeout.
9:21 left in the 3rd period. Miller hadn't even gotten back into the play yet. But there is another look. Have the Spirit gotten back to a 1-goal contest? They live and they die by the review here on this Wednesday night. But you make a good point, Jack. Timeout's been used here by the Sioux. There is the review with 9:21 to go.
Sammy Spirit and Bert are watching the game with a very special person tonight. It's Brooklyn.
And for Caleb Papineau, what a situation he's walked into on the Spirit side of things. Made some really strong saves earlier on. And they are reviewing for goaltender interference.
Now, if you're a Sioux Greyhounds fan, there's, I would say, reason to be optimistic just for the fact alone that Harmer is essentially inside the net in the middle of the blue paint. Now, rule number 1 on goalie interference is you cannot be in the crease. Now, it's Harmer sent there from the defender. He's directed that way, but Harmer needs to allow Miller to reestablish himself. And I don't know if Miller ever even made contact, and that is what they're saying. He never had a chance to get back over there. And all of a sudden, in what could have been a 6-1 game, it is a 1-goal contest.
And important to note that that was that was not a challenged goal. That was automatically being looked at. And John Dean having his conversation with Nicholas Bett right now. So Brody Papoy, he's been the spark that Saginaw has needed here over the last handful of games. Will it be enough to get him back into this one? They're within a goal. 9:21 left in the 3rd. 6th goal of the season. 2 points tonight. Give him 8 points in his last 7 contests. And really the momentum and the confidence and the abilities of 62 have really snowballed here in the month of December. Well, and they do send Colin Fitzgerald over to the penalty box. So maybe we were misinformed. The Greyhounds do pick up a penalty out of all that. Saginaw to the IBEW Local 557 power play. Jacob Kluche back into the offensive end. This is Klepov down the wing. Vignosa cuts it off. Greyhounds could cut the celebration short here with a shorthanded opportunity. Smith fires a shot. That's into the glove of Caleb Papineau, who hangs on.
Well, 8:55 to go, excuse me, and because of the penalty, there is still no media timeouts. We have not had one yet in this period, despite all the delays and stoppages. So that is weighing large. And that's why it was a good timeout usage by Coach Dean just a few minutes ago. However, his team didn't quite get the message. So 1-goal game, power play for the Spirit in what has been as chaotic of a third period as I can remember in the OHL.
There's a delay of game penalty for Fitzgerald on what was a failed coach's challenge for goaltender interference. Puck is held in by James Go. Could that be the difference maker in this third period? 8.5 to go. Saginaw's within 1. A minute and some change on the power play. James Go inside the line and knocked back out there by Brown. The confidence much higher for the Spirit at 5-4, and the puck movement shows it. Barabanov sweeps it to the corner. Had white sweaters all over him. Greyhounds get this puck out to center. James Go for Kluche. Turned down the left wing. Evans there. Shoulders against Gervais. Greyhounds don't get it out. Could be a gift here. Barabanov. Jones. Down to Kluche. Back through Barabanov. The spinning drop off. Bad angle for Klepov. He goes up high to Jones. Takes the shot. Sent wide. Rebound. In front. Somehow kept out. Barabanov chance. Goes off the skate of Fisher. Back up. Barabanov. Left circle. 20 on the power play. Jones. Kluche in the corner. Swept through that one right through the goal mouth and out the other side. Back out to center ice. This is Graydon Jones. Gervais sneaks off on a change. Barabanov can't hold the puck in front of him. Greyhounds push things down. Jones behind Papineau.
The Greyhounds have returned to full strength.
Out of the box is Fitzgerald. Saginaw 0 for 3 on the power play. The Sioux escapes the delay of game penalty. Now Papoy in front nearly found Carson Harmer. Harmer's got it again. Papoy in the corner. Holds off Winkelhofer. Harmer now. Looks to the middle. Turns around. Finds Papoy. High slot. Takes a shot. Save made by Miller. Jones and Martin. Then Sema and Pangretich. Neither one of them can come away with it. Winkelhofer and Harmer will try. Puck back out into the circle, and 62's on it, but can't quite shut it down. So now numbers back for the Sioux. Gloved down by Bartz at the line. Delayed offside. Puck fired up for Carson Harmer. Greyhounds get fresh bodies on. Sema steps in. Has a lane. That one punched out there by Miller. Jordan Sharon. Back to the offensive end. To the corner they go. And the last goal for the Sioux. Walks up with Nick Sema again. Carson Harmer. As it's touched up here by the Greyhounds off of a hand pass. We need to take a breather. 6:16 to go in the third. We recommend staying. The 5-1 game has become 5-4. We're back to Saginaw in a moment.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Third period here from the Dow Event Center in a 1-goal hockey game between West Division rivals. The Sioux Greyhounds open up a 5-1 lead at the end of the second period. 3 unanswered goals. Barabanov, Jensen Geldart, second of his OHL career, and Brody Papoy have given the Spirit belief. They are not back in this game yet. But, Jack, they're pretty darn close.
It's certainly been something here the last 7 or 8 minutes of this game. As we talked about, you never know what can turn the tides, and now all of a sudden we have what's going to be an incredible finish on our hands here on a Wednesday night in Saginaw, Michigan.
The Spirit bench is standing. The Sioux Greyhounds bring the puck back into the offensive zone. Barabanov, a pass to get out of danger, brought up by Nick Sema. Little trouble on the pass, still gets the Klepov. Down the wing, Nikita Klepov put that one off the goal post. Sema back in front. Miller may have gotten a piece of that shot. This one fired cross ice by Harper. It sticks in half. Klepov down low for Barabanov. Twists it into the corner. Fitzgerald is there. Winkelhofer almost turned over. Sema got knocked down. This is Fitzgerald trying to split the Spirit defense. Drop back off. Fisher, left circle. Can't get that through Xander Valeris. Bouncer in the corner. Picked up by Barabanov. Papoy's got it. Cuts back here against Evans. Lost the puck. 2 Greyhounds to 62. This is McKenzie. Leads the Sioux counterattack. He was the player most talked about in the second. He goes to the net right now. Papineau makes the save. No, it's in. It gets through the Spirit netminder. McKenzie put it home. Somebody else may have gotten a touch at it. 5:12 left in regulation. The Greyhounds have a 2-goal lead again.
That is how you answer out of the TV timeout, where it seems like everything has gone against you in this period. Quinn McKenzie, you mentioned it, partner. He has been everywhere in this game, especially that second period. Cuts to the net with it, and not sure what it hit, but it squeaked through Papineau. You saw Kluche back there. Couldn't get over there in time to keep it in between the pillows. And a squeaker, and one you'd love to have back, just gets through Papineau. 6-4, and a little bit of breathing room down there for the Greyhounds.
11th goal of the season for Quinn McKenzie. 3rd point of the hockey game as he had 2 assists already. And he's gotten the Sioux Greyhounds back to a slightly less precarious position. Papoy back in. Stripped at the offensive blue line. This is Kluche. Back for Graydon Jones. Then in Carson Harmer. Cross-scurry over. Evans. Breakout pass off the stick of Brown. Bartz finds Carson Harmer. They're back in with speed. The drop pass is handled by Kluche. Pursued to the corner. Tried to find Gervais. Kluche in front. Harmer got turned around. The puck's still there. Stick lift by Kluche. He's got it. Sent it to the net, but high. Back around Jones. Sweeps another one there. Miller the save. And the rebound helped back to him by Evans. And season's greetings for Carson Harmer. 4:27 left, 3rd period. The situation a little bit different. 6-4. We take another break. Back to finish off the 3rd period after this.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center. 3rd period here between the Saginaw Spirit and the Sioux Greyhounds. Quinn McKenzie has just given the visitors another 2-goal lead at 6-4. Just inside 4.5 minutes left in the 3rd period. In a game where it's been impossible to predict what's going to happen next.
Yeah, your guess is as good as any, partner. And I'm sure everyone's watching at home. This 3rd period has been something else. It was 5-1 Greyhounds coming in. We thought it was 6-1. A lengthy review told us it wasn't. 3 unanswered from the Spirit in under 3 minutes of game time. But Quinn McKenzie, a huge insurance marker. 4:27 to go. We'll have eyes on Papineau he is on the bench. So net empty already for Coach Lazzary's squad. And here we go late in this one in Saginaw.
6 against 5. Lots of time. Gervais to the net. Great save by Miller. Where's the puck? It's under his glove. almost right off the hop for Sebastian Gervais.
How many times is the left pad of Landon Miller going to come into play with a highway robbery? That is an incredible save with the game as close as it is by Landon Miller. Outstretched as far as he can be with Gervais sliding toward the post and couldn't tuck it behind the pad.
Gervais against Mignosa again. Tries to push it to the net with Popoy. Miller's not taking any chances. Another shove in front as real estate on the edge of the blue crease is going to be hard to come by. 4:18 left in the third. Well, the third period has been Saginaw's best by quite a wide margin so far this season. They've been outscored in both first and second periods cumulatively on the season, but they outscored the opposition 43-37 in third periods. They're winning the third 3-1 right now. But the first two periods that came before it complicate things a little bit if you're a fan of the red, white, and blue. Barabanov, net is empty for the Spirit. Throws it to the net, down to the goal line. Sweeping chance there. That's shut off. Doesn't get out of the net. Out of the zone, right in front. Barabanov put it off the iron. Two posts in this period. Klepov to Harper. Point drive. Ricochets wide. Kluche back high. Can Harper keep it? Yes. It's been given away. Mignosa nicely read there by Harper. Would have been a breakaway to the empty net for Sharon. Remember that play by Levi Harper. Barabanov has time inside the line. Shifts to Harper. Down low. Left circle, Kluche. Cross ice. Klepov steps in, shoots. Save in the rebound to the corner there. Sharon's broken his stick. Mignosa gets it out over the head of Harper. Klepov backtracking. Gets there ahead of Fitzgerald. A little rolling puck. But he does get the job done and moves it to Levi Harper. 3.5 to go in the third. Jacob Kluche. Does the Spirit need a pair? Into the skates of Popoy. Would have been offside. He has to track back here. Harper gives him some room. Popoy galloping in. Popoy to the net. Save made by Miller as he crashes into the corner.
Brody Popoy is growing up before Spirit fans' eyes here in this one to skate through as many Greyhounds as he did cut to the net. This stage of the game, it's going to take a lot to get a call like that. You can argue there's tripping there. But a great save by Miller. And that comes sliding off.
And not just one, he gets two touches on it. Miller makes the initial save with the shoulder. It pops up in the air. He's got to kind of shrug it off with the right hand, too. 3:10 left. The Sioux Greyhounds have used their timeout. The Saginaw Spirit have not. And with these 6 players on the ice, you got to imagine that a timeout comes soon. If nobody can find the back of the net, of course. Barabanov's got 2 goals in the game. Off the face-off, Gervais helps it to Kluche, then Harper. And back to Jacob Kluche. Harper again, center point, fan on the shot. Gets it back, though. Puts it down low for Klepov. Levi Harper again. 2 of the top rookies in the OHL. Barabanov now for Kluche. Barabanov again. They test the perimeter. Shot in front. That one snared by Landon Miller. Through 2, maybe 3 bodies in front of him. Another D-zone face-off, 2:51 in the third.
And you wonder, this top unit has been out there for almost a minute and 40 seconds now. You wonder when that timeout will be used by Coach Lazary. No signs of it yet. But he's going to want this top unit out there as much as he can over this final 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
Go back to that first goal of the game by Barabanov. Miller wasn't able to look around the screen. Barabanov gets another chance here late in the game. Miller leans left. The shot comes left. He's able to make the stop with the glove. Puck to the boards, then the point. Harper just inside the line. Help there from Barabanov. Sharon gives him a rough ride. Harper sweeps it to the net. Tipped in front. That one off some bodies. Then the goaltender and back out to center. Harper's got a race against Mignosa. Puts it off the glass. Just back in. No icing as Fisher's on it here for the Sioux. 2.5 to go. The Spirit seal the wall off. Popoy heads into the circle. Trying to find Barabanov. Greyhounds have it. Sharon fumbles that puck at center. Harper takes contact. Just inside the neutral zone again. Barabanov. Spirit are onside. Nicely knocked out of the air by Sharon on a pass that was tagged for Brody Popoy. Off the boards at center. Fitzgerald for the empty net, sent it wide. Gervais got to get back. Mignosa's there. And Sebastian Gervais, like the other players on the ice right now for Saginaw, have been out for quite some time. 2 minutes left. They need to. Luce fumbles on the outlet pass. Greyhounds are changing. This is Harper to dance it into the corner. Gervais takes a look, sees he's got Barabanov, gets drilled. Jacob Kluche back up to the point. Harper fired it back to the corner. Who's going to go get it? Fisher and Gervais and Klepov. Brady Smith on it for the Sioux. Nick Simo is one of the fresh bodies out on the ice for the Spirit. Might be the only one. They've helped to keep it alive. Barabanov to the net, off a body in front. Still loose in the circle. Fisher can't get it out. Barabanov to Klepov. Down to the left wing corner. Klepov keeps it going to the net. Save made by Miller. Kluche is in the blue crease. More bodies pile up. And a face-off here with 1:20 left.
And boy, you could tell the Greyhounds were trying to get Fitzgerald his hat trick back there because several times a few forwards were cheating on his own, almost leading to odd man rushes the other way. Great chance out in front, just pulled it to the backhand by Klepov. And now you have to think the timeout's coming, and it is from Coach Lazar.
Chris Lazar uses the one timeout in the game. Quinn McKenzie has the insurance goal right now for the Sioux Greyhounds. But the Spirit out shooting the visitors 16-7 here in the third period. In what has been a back and forth game. Igor Barabanov got the scoring started. 5 unanswered goals by the Sioux Greyhounds. A potential 6th comes off the board. It would have been a hat trick for Colin McKenzie. It was ruled the puck went out of play. Barabanov, Geldar, Papoy respond for the Spirit to make it a 1-goal game. Quinn McKenzie puts it just beyond their fingertips right now. They've got 1 minute, 20 seconds to score 2 goals. And again, as the season rolls on, or maybe it will have to be next season, we're told that we will have access to the official review cameras here on the broadcast side of things. I know that's something that's hard in the works right now. But there does exist an angle that we were unable to show you here tonight on Flow Hockey. But the puck does go off the glass and out of play on what would have been the 6th goal. Puck in the circle. Net empty for the Spirit. Greyhounds off the draw. They get a bounce off the boards. Mignosa bounces again. Smith to the empty net. Can't get it in. Ran out of room, and he's going to put it through as Sebastian Gervais tried to slide along the goal line and cut off that angle. 1:09 to go in the third period. It's a 3-goal game again.
Yeah, and you could tell Smith was trying to get that puck to Fitzgerald the best he could, and then he realized he had no room for it. So go ahead, tuck it away to ice this one. It got a little dicey there for the Greyhounds, but a great recovery effort. And they will go home happy with 2 big points against their division rival.
We've seen a little bit of everything this season. This one will stand out for the next little bit for Saginaw. They've got one more opportunity here before the holiday break. A couple of days off after this midweek contest. The Oshawa Generals come to town on Saturday for Teddy Bear Toss with GFL. So if you haven't gotten your Teddy Bears yet, I might cross that off the list here in the next 2 or 3 days. The Spirit will have bears available for sale inside the Dow Event Center, but the more Teddy Bears, the better when it comes to Teddy Bear Toss. Spencer Evans has picked up an assist on the empty net goal. Sioux Greyhounds will put it to a season-high 6 consecutive victories. And the leaving home after 5 wins and a 5-game homestand doesn't seem to be a problem for this hockey team. Give them 11 road victories on the season, the only team with more of the Ottawa 67s at 12. Of course, this one not quite done yet. 35 left. This is put back down below the Sioux goal line. They're in Windsor tomorrow to take on the Spitfires. A rare Wednesday, Thursday, but that's their last game before the holiday break, so they'll head back home. Uri Rauja in behind the Greyhound net. Liam Storch battles after 2. The silver lining for the Spirit, they'll get Dima Zilkin back tomorrow, Saturday against the Generals. Odd man break back in for the Sioux. Final 4 seconds here. This is swept to the net. It's going to go in. Harris Pangretich with 2.3 left. Just swept it on through. It goes off the goal stick of Caleb Papineau here in the dying moments to make it 8-4.
First career goal for Pankredich. Just a harmless shot on net with 2.3 seconds to go. And this game is going to finish with a score that's probably more appropriate for how things went, as it just snuck past Papineau to reclaim the 4-goal lead the Greyhounds had majority of this one. Spirit made it exciting, but not nearly enough. As the Greyhounds walk away with a big 8-4 win.
Third of 8 meetings between these two teams on the season. The Greyhounds pick up the 2-1 series advantage. The road team stays dominant over the last 3 years between these two teams, 14-5-0. But the most important number that the Greyhounds are focused on right now, 21. 21 victories on the season, 44 points, as they look to continue to make their way up the OHL's Western Conference standings. For Saginaw, 6 games in a row without a victory. They get one more chance before the holiday break, and it'll be a Saturday, 7:05 against the Oshawa Generals. 8-4 your final score here on this Wednesday night. These two teams will bark at each other from across the red line. They'll see each other more than their fair share of times coming up. Post-game on the other side of this break here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh and Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear, with a team that plays to win.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
Recognize that sound? That's your heart racing when law enforcement catches you for drunk driving. Truth is, it's happening more and more these days. Cops are cracking down all across America. If you drive drunk, it's more likely than ever you will get caught and you will be arrested. So don't take any chances. If you're drunk, do not get behind the wheel. And maybe you could avoid feeling like this. Drunk driving, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Pick up an 8-4 win. Found the most goals in the third period out of any of the 3. 6 of them split right down the middle. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights real quickly. A 5-1 lead was carried into the third period for the Sioux Greyhounds. Brody Popoy finds Igor Barabanov, his second goal of the game, to spur a little bit of belief on the Spirit side of things. Not long after, Gervais down low for Graydon Jones. Some soft skill in front. Jensen Geldart flips the puck up to himself, has his second OHL goal, and the Spirit closed the deficit to 5-3. Not long after that, Brody Popoy carries things back and behind the goal. A wraparound chance that he tried on a number of occasions prior to this. He finds the back of the net for his 6th goal of the season, and to make it a 1-goal game, but that was as close as things would come for the Spirit. The comeback falls short. Quinn McKenzie goes through the Spirit defense, through Caleb Papineau, who took over for Stepan Shurigan in that third period. His 11th goal of the season, 3 points on the night for Quinn McKenzie to make it 6-4. The empty net goal for Brady Smith at 7-4, and then one more that would ricochet to the net. First career goal for Harris Pangredich that goes off the stick of the goaltender, Caleb Papineau, and in for the final mark of 8-4. Final stats in the game brought to you by Raymond. You see the heavy shot advantage for Saginaw in the third period, 16-9. Special teams, 1 for 4 on the power play for the Sioux Greyhounds. Saginaw unable to convert on the man advantage. A long list of goal scorers, 8-4 the final score. I'll bring it back one more time up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark, Jack Snevice, and Jack, an interesting journey to find ourselves through to an 8-4 hockey game. Entertaining in that third period, but one that's going to be a little difficult to digest, I think.
Well, I think you said in the third period that's junior hockey, right? It was perfectly entertaining. It was 5-1 game. All of a sudden, 6-1. Everyone's leaving for the exits. One thing leads to another in the replay room, and we had a 1-goal hockey game. And that's what you look for in moments like this. It's great for, the young players at this age who, are trying to make a name for themselves. It's entertaining for the fans, obviously, on a Wednesday night. But at the end of the day, the Greyhounds won in what should be a convincing fashion outside of those few minutes there in the middle stage of the third period. You saw the shot advantage pretty much the whole game. Saginaw came on late, which is great to see with a young team. But at the end of the day, I think the outcome kind of dictated the results here in this one in terms of just how well the Greyhounds did play here tonight.
On lessons learned for two teams in different spots right now. Again, Saginaw, like Jack said, on the younger side of things. Greyhounds primed for a deep playoff run. That's the hope up in Sault Ste. Marie. And on the Spirit side of things, some belief. These young players getting some confidence. Brody Papoy and Jensen Geldart playing like they've got a little bit more than 10 and 30 games in the Ontario Hockey League. And on the Sioux side of things, handling a lead. It's going to come more into play when the playoffs come around. The emotions are double, triple what they are right now. So you can kind of pull your more team-specific lessons from a game like this where a heavy lead almost blown and then fully 8-4 the other way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm sure Coach Dean is saying in the locker room right now is, hey, guys, come playoff time, you can't sit back at a 4-goal lead. It doesn't matter what kind of break you feel you got or did not get or whatever it was, you can't let that happen, especially against a young team. You saw the belief. You saw how excited Papoy got on his wraparound goal. That was belief. They came close. Klepov hit the post. Let's not forget about that. It could have been a 5-5 game just like that. They did a good job weathering the storm and answering with the McKenzie goal, a couple of empty netters from there. But that is one thing the Greyhounds will take away from this game. It's how to play with a lead, especially a big one late in a game like this.
Our 3 stars of tonight's game are brought to you by Applebee's. And in an 8-4 win for the Sioux Greyhounds, quite a few points to go around. Jack, what do we got?
Yeah, Igor Barabanov, 2 goals tonight. The first 2 for Saginaw. He sandwiched around 5 Greyhound goals. He had a fantastic game, as he always does, up to 40 points on the year. Quinn McKenzie had the go-ahead insurance goal. It's not the game-winning goal. It certainly felt like the game-winning goal at that point. 2 assists for him as well. And Colin Fitzgerald, 3-point night. They tried getting them the hat trick. He had the hat trick for a little bit, but again, what an acquisition Fitzgerald has been to this team and highlighting a very, very deep Greyhounds team poised to make a run when things matter the most in March.
A lot of talent on both sides. 3 stars of the game brought to you by Applebee's. The road ahead here for the Spirit is brought to you by Applied Innovation. There's only one more step in the road before the holiday break, and it is on Saturday, December the 20th, a 7:05 puck drop against the Oshawa Generals. Teddy bear toss with GFL. If you have bears, bring them. If you need bears, they will be on sale here at the Dow Event Center. The important thing is that a lot of bears make their way down onto the ice surface here for kids in local hospitals and medical centers across the Great Lakes Bay region. And that'll be the break for both of these two teams, for all 20 in the OHL. And they'll see each other again pretty darn soon on the other side of it. Sunday, December the 28th, up in Sault Ste. Marie. 2:07 puck drop. We'll start pregame coverage on 100.5 FM WSGW at 1:50. And then they see the Sarnia Sting, the Spirit do, for the first time, if you can believe that. First of 6 matchups between division opponents on Tuesday, December the 30th. 7:05 puck drop here from the Dow Event Center. 8-4, the Sioux Greyhounds walk out of the Dow with the victory. Andy Harrington's been our producer here for this hockey game. Thanks to Jack Snevice. Good to have you back this season, my friend. My name's Dylan Clark. Thanks to all of you who tuned in. Good night, Saginaw. We'll talk to you next time.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.